Piper was the quarterback to start the season here for the Heritage Patriots, but Jason Valdez, a sophomore and young man with quite a bit of talent, a man we'll be talking about a lot tonight. Look for number 8 on the field if you're here. He's a sophomore. He's moved into the quarterback position and moved the senior to flanker. Also notice the freshman as one of the running backs, Harold Walker. So the folks are young back there, but they're skilled.
Yeah, whenever you put a sophomore quarterback, your coach has got a lot of confidence in you, especially this early in the season. When you put a freshman there at running back, he's got to have a lot of talent because, you want the freshmen to learn from the freshman and junior varsity squads, and if you bring them automatically up here, you got a lot of confidence. Now, look out on the field at Harold Walker, number 23 for Heritage. Pretty big kid. And also, one of the running backs we're going to be talking a lot about Heritage is Vino Gibson. He's a senior. He's really a real big back. He's probably bigger than all the linemen, but we're going to be calling his name plenty of times tonight.
And when we come back, we've got a lot of names to call, including one who you'll remember quite a bit from this segment, as a matter of fact. We go to Inside the Numbers. Todd Q. Chapman will bring you Inside the Numbers. Pay close attention. A lot of interesting stuff coming up there. Also, later in the Tailgate Show, we will talk to head coach Jack Cook, and we will give you the region roundup and tell you what everyone at 8 Quad A is doing this week. Your source for 8 Quad A Sports is WGFS AM 1430. More after this.
Hello?
Hello?
Morning, sir.
Where are you?
I'm still undercover, eating breakfast at Shoney's.
I sent you there hours ago to find out why everyone goes to Shoney's for breakfast instead of my restaurant.
I think it's Shoney's all-you-care-to-eat breakfast bar, sir.
You think?
Well, I'm only halfway through the 40 delicious breakfast items.
Shoney's breakfast bar features 40 items?
All you care to eat, sir.
No.
At one very low price.
No.
Everything from freshly prepared favorites like scrambled eggs, pancakes, bacon, sausage,
Uh-oh.
to tasty surprises
Uh-oh.
like real buttermilk biscuits and real
Ludlow!
sticky buns, sir.
Come back, Ludlow. We've got work to do.
Sorry, sir.
Sorry?
I'm so impressed with their all-you-care-to-eat breakfast bar, I got a job at Shoney's.
But you're my best busboy.
Shoney's is my destiny.
But, son...
See you, Dad. Tell Mom all right, okay?
Okay.
Check out Shoney's Breakfast Bar every morning, but most of all on Football Friday mornings when we bring you the coach's breakfast from Shoney's at Turner Lake and Highway 278.
The Farm and Garden Depot is your headquarters for feed and seed. The Farm and Garden Depot at 4125 Emory Street has most all of the fall grass seed, including wheat, rye, and clover. They also have fall deer mix, squirrel corn, and deer corn. The Farm and Garden Depot is located on Emory Street across from the depot. Call them today, 787-3870. 787-3870. The Farm and Garden Depot, your headquarters for feed and seed.
Get quality printing and save money at Rhodes Printing Company in Covington. Save a little here and a little there, and the money really adds up in the long run. If you're concerned about quality printing at reasonable prices, Rhodes Printing is where you should have your printing done. Rhodes Printing has a reputation for quality printing for over 20 years. So whether it's business cards or forms, company letterheads and envelopes, make sure Rhodes Printing Company in Covington is your business printer. That's Rhodes Printing.
We're back on the Newton Ram Tailgate Show. I'm your host, executive producer Todd Q. Chapman. Yes, I know. Thank you. Thank you. And this week on Inside the Numbers, we take a look at the Newton Rams past, present, and future. Since 1949, 7 Newton Ram teams have started 2-0. Of those, 6 have gone on to start at 3-0. Those 6 squads have a combined record of 43 wins, 17 losses, and 1, count 'em, uno tie. In 1990, this team was the worst of the 6, At 5-5, they started out 3-0, fell a little short going 2-5 in the last 7. In 1950, in 1994, and yes, in that old Codgers year, the big dog, his senior year in 1981, 7-3. All 3 of those teams going 7-3. In 1953, the Rams went 8-1-1, and in 1964, the Rams went 9-2. The only obstacle has been Game 4. Only 2 of those teams have gone on to 4-0 records, those being the 1950 Rams and, yes, Big Dogs Newton Pack of 1981. Both finished at 7-3. The 1987 Newton Rams, possibly the best Rams team in recent memory, possibly ever also, didn't go 3-0. As a matter of fact, they didn't even go 1-0. They ended the season at 10-3. So it comes to show that you don't always have to start off with a win. You just better win the rest of them. And in the series against Heritage, Newton is 7-1. Basically, we have an average score of 14-12 going Newton's way. Last season, Newton won 14-0. But, here's an interesting fact. This game should be a shootout. Remember, in 1992, Jack Cook's first season as a Newton Rams coach. As a matter of fact, it was his first game as head coach. Newton and Heritage tied 7-7. In 93, Newton lost 38-30 to Heritage. And last year, Newton dominated 14-0. This season, we're probably looking at a Newton win of 48-21. I don't know. Call me crazy. Don't ask me why. I just make these numbers up myself. And in our stat of the week, in games decided by 4 points or more since the beginning of last season, Newton just happens to be 6-1. Yes. And in our NFL recap, Atlanta travels to New Orleans. San Diego travels to Philadelphia. The Giants at Green Bay. Indianapolis at Buffalo. Oakland takes on Kansas City. Cleveland at Houston. Arizona and Detroit face off. St. Louis and Carolina, game of expansion teams. Oh, I'm sorry, there's only one expansion team there. New England, San Francisco, Washington and Denver, Cincinnati at Seattle, Chicago at Tampa Bay. That's a pick'em, by the way. Jacksonville at New Jersey. To play the Jets. Dallas and Minnesota. And for the Monday night game, Pittsburgh travels to Miami. When we come back on the Newton Ram Tailgate Show, Kevin Holden and Coach Jack Cook bring us an interview.
At Newton Federal Savings and Loan, some of this summer's hottest numbers are now available on CD, certificates of deposit. For attractive interest rates plus exceptional personal service and the strength of Newton Federal behind your money, take a close look at us today. When you do, you'll like what you see. Newton Federal Savings and Loan, FDIC insured. Substantial penalty for early withdrawal.
We're back on the Newton Ram Tailgate Show. I'm Todd Q. Chapman, your executive producer of Newton Ram Football. It's now time for the Region Roundup, a peek at last week's scores, the current standings, and the slate for this week in Region 8 Quad A. Last week, Habersham Central, Brookwood, and Winder Barrow had an off date. Last week, the big game of the week featured Parkview and Forest Park. Parkview ran away with it literally 20-8. The Panthers rushed for 291 yards, led by, yes, Brett Milliken with 118 yards. I think you're going to hear that about 10 more times this season. And Matt Pointer, 103 yards, a surprising total from him. Both Milliken and Pointer rushed for a touchdown. The Norcross Blue Devils held off the Riverdale Raiders 24-21. Drew Price kicked a 20-yard field goal with only 46 seconds left to give Norcross the victory. Riverdale's Casey Burney ran 43 yards to the Norcross 15, but time just did expire as he was tackled. South Gwinnett went airborne to beat Shiloh 27-14. The ground game just wasn't there for South Gwinnett, but they completed 7 of 9 passes for 193 yards. The interesting thing about it, halfback Blake Malone, yes, the halfback, was 3 for 3 for 119 yards passing. The defense was the key for South Gwinnett also. Shiloh scored both touchdowns late in the fourth quarter, so this one wasn't as close as 13 points would tell you. Ladies and gentlemen, Meadow Creek actually won a game. Yes, they defeated Cherokee County 22-20 last week. Jason Ward rushed for 276 yards, scored 2 touchdowns, and 2 two-point conversions. Cherokee had a chance to tie, but missed a 2-point conversion with 3 minutes left. Meadow Creek, you might have your one win for the season. I'm sorry. Central Gwinnett 28-7 over Tequila. Chris Hayes threw for 2 touchdowns. Anthony Spencer ran for a touchdown. And Central scored a touchdown via the blocked punt. Yes, you don't see that very often. Duluth over Berkmar 34-6. Berkmar just looks terrible so far this season. Duluth scored 20 points in the third quarter with 2 touchdowns and 2 chip shot field goals. And Rockdale crushed the Salem Seminoles 36-7 as Demetrius Flournoy rushed for 220 yards. Brandon Evans also carried the ball 18 times for 160 yards for the Bulldogs. Rockdale tallied up 459 yards rushing while holding the Seminoles to only 99 total yards. Yes, that's total yards. Heritage was shut out by Troup County 38-0. Cole Carter had 16 carries for 174 yards and 2 touchdowns. 131 of those yards coming in the first half, so Heritage didn't look very good in their second game of the season. Currently in the region, on the north side, Clark Central, yes, that old powerhouse, they're back 2-0. Norcross is also 2-0. A little side note, Collins Hill is 2-0, but they're not playing a region schedule, so they don't count. Heritage, Central Gwinnett, South Gwinnett, and Meadow Creek. Yes, Meadow Creek are all 1-1, while Habersham Central is 0-1. And in the south side, Newton and Parkview both 2-0. Winterboro still undefeated at 1-0. Shiloh, Brookwood, and Rockdale all 1-1. Maybe not such a tough race for that 1-1 spot. The other two a little tainted. And yes, we've got Berkmar bringing up the caboose at 0-2. This week, Brookwood plays at South Gwinnett. South Gwinnett has not defeated Brookwood since 1984. They're looking to exact a little revenge. The number 6 Parkview Panthers face Jonesboro tonight. Breck Milligan goes for his third game in a row with 100 yards rushing. He already has 283 on the season. Meadow Creek plays at Berkmar. Berkmar might get their first win. Meadow Creek might get their second. That's excitement. Shiloh at Central Gwinnett, Clark Central plays at Lithia Springs, who happens to play here at Newton next week. We'll get to that next week. Monroe area at Winterboro. Stockbridge takes on Rockdale County tomorrow night. Habersham Central at Stevens County. And a little side note, Lumpkin takes on Collins Hill tonight. When we come back from the Newton Ram Tailgate Show, yes, it'll be game time.
You've been listening to the Newton Ram Tailgate Show, an inside look at tonight's game, as well as all the action in Region 8 Quad A. Now, get ready. The war is about to begin. Newton Ram football is right around the corner on your station for Ram Sports. WGFS, AM 1430.
And welcome to Reed Stadium in Conyers. Live game action already underway. The Newton Rams on their first drive. Kevin Holden, Paul Dailey bringing you Newton Ram football. For the Rams right now, they have 3rd down and 8. They're on their own 37-yard line. They won the toss. They elected to receive, and the Rams trying to drive downfield. An incomplete pass on first down, setting up this 3rd and 8, and Cleary's pass incomplete. Up the middle, he was charged hard on the defense by number 67, Stephen White, and Newton will be forced to punt on this first drive here, Paul.
Well, we've seen the first couple of plays, Kevin. We've seen the first play, Richie Cleary came out and did a good pass, and the pass was a great one to Danny Cisco. Danny just didn't come up with it. Apparently, he don't have them Velcro gloves on tonight, so I'm sure he's gone over there to pick them up. But not a good series for Newton's first series. It's going to put Stephen Smith deep to punt, around 4th and 8.
There was a 5-yard penalty against the Rams on a second down play. They looked like they were trying to call maybe an audible or something, and a lot of the players missed it in the process of trying to give it to each other. They gave themselves a 5-yard penalty and really helped to set up the situation. Stephen Smith will be punting from about his own 22. Back to receive is Drew Hinesley, standing in his own 28, and Stephen Smith's punt is a pretty good one. End over end, bounces at the 38 and out of bounds. That punt from Smith is going to be about a 25-yarder. And as Heritage starts with okay field position here, they'll be about their own 38-yard line. 10:37 remaining in the first quarter. No score from Reed Stadium. The Rams, for the first time in school history, try to go to 3-0 on consecutive years. They did it last year. They'll try to do it again.
It's going to bring up Heritage with really good field position. They're going to be on their own 43-yard line. Newton started off from their own 40, so field position is in both favors as we speak. So it's going to bring up 1st and 10 for the Heritage Patriots.
The ball must have gone out of bounds much sooner than we thought. Now the officials are calling a timeout, and they're having a little trouble setting the first down marker. The ball is all the way out at the 43-yard line, not the 38 as we had thought it would originally be spotted. Here is how the Heritage offense shapes up. They'll be behind the sophomore quarterback Jason Valdez. Across the front it goes Chad Fry at the left tackle, Corey Hageman at the left guard, Brent Latimer, Jimmy Phelps, David Ramsey. Across the offensive line, Mike Glenzer is the tight end. You've got 5, 6 seniors if you count Drew Hinesley, the split end. Valdez, the quarterback, Walker, Harold Walker, that is the freshman in the backfield, along with a few others. Here's Valdez. He's going to keep it himself. Plows through. You like to see that from a quarterback, and he's out to the 50-yard line. And some quarterbacks, Paul, when they see they're going to be tackled, kind of slide in like into second base, but Jason Valdez plowed head first into those folks.
I was watching the surge of the offensive line on that play, and they just blew Newton County's defensive front way off the ball. And you're talking about a lot of seniors up front for the Heritage Patriots. You got some seniors and also a couple of young people up for Newton County, but it looks like Newton County outweighs them. But good surge there by the offensive line for Heritage.
And don't forget about Vino Gibson, big, strong running back. This time the fumble on the pitch. Walker recovers it, though. The pitch from Valdez to Walker, and the the pitch was a bad one. That's a sophomore and a freshman dealing with it there, and you can tell the inexperience.
Really a bad pitch on Jason Valdez's part. Harold Walker, freshman, true freshman in high school, did a smart thing of just jumping on the ball and recovering the fumble. But that's a good break for Newton County. It's going to bring the ball back. It's going to be about 3rd and 9 for the Heritage Patriots. Also, there's a penalty on the play, holding against the Heritage Patriots. Of course, the Newton County defense declines, and it's going to bring up 3rd and a long 9 for the Heritage Patriots.
So the Heritage offense here behind Jason Valdez may have to go to a passing play here with it 3rd and about 9 or 10 yards. No, Paul, they couldn't redshirt Harold Walker. He really is a true high school freshman. He's back there with Gibson. Ryan Piper is the flanker. He started this year as the quarterback for the Heritage Patriots. Rams in the big front looking to stop it. Now Valdez finds a little bit of a hole, escapes out close to midfield, breaks a couple of tackles, and he's out to the 50, and Jason Valdez runs more like a running back than a quarterback.
Good strong run by the sophomore quarterback for Heritage. He broke a couple of tackles. However, he did not pick up the first down, so Heritage is going to be forced to punt right there on the 50-yard line. So if Heritage gets a good punt away, it's going to back Newton County up.
And so with the ball at midfield, they will count on the senior punter, Shandy King. Back to receive for Newton is Danny Sisko. He will back up to about his own 15, so you can tell that he definitely respects the leg of the senior kicker. The snap is a good one. The punt does get off and in good shape. It bounces toward the near side of the field. It takes a great Heritage roll inside the 5-yard line and touched there by number 30, Tom Graham, special teams player for the Patriots. So a terrific punt, more or less, because it took a great Heritage bounce.
Right. The punt itself only went about 25, maybe 20 yards, but it got a good 15 to 19-yard roll. It's going to back Newton County up to their own 5-yard line. Then again, we talk about field position, and this backs Newton County up way deep in their own territory.
Rams 14-0 winners last year over these same Heritage Patriots. The last time these two teams met here at Reed, it was an offensive shootout, the Rams losing by 8. Give on first down to Jonathan Price, and Price is absolutely stuffed by that Heritage defensive front. You've got a couple of seniors, a junior and a sophomore there, but they certainly played like the experienced folks there. Price got back to the original line of scrimmage. Let's set up the Ram offense for you here as we bring up second down. Richie Cleary is the quarterback. Of course, he's the senior. Back in the backfield, Jonathan Price and another new face at fullback, Tyrus Hardiman. Danny Sisko and Jarvis Johnson will be your wideout. Stephen Smith is now in there here on the second drive. It is second down and 9 yards to go from the 6-yard line. Cleary pitching to Price. Price has some running room. He's at the 10, at the 15, tripped up, and he falls right about at first down territory at the 15-yard line. But he wasn't tackled the traditional way. He was kind of sideswiped.
What happened was he was trying to avoid a block for Stephen Smith was out there applying a really good block, and Jonathan kind of ran right into the block. Maybe should have read it a little bit different, but a good pickup there from Jonathan to go on the right corner. And whenever he turns upfield, he's going to have a little bit of action because he's really quick, got quick feet, and that's one thing Heritage Patriots defense is going to have to watch.
It'll be third down and short yardage here. I don't think they got the first down. There's a Heritage player down at the 15-yard line. He's being tended to now. And, of course, it is still very hot weather, just like the summer months here. You'd think this would be the first week of the season the way it's going here.
I tell you what, it's hot, but I guarantee if you ask any of the players out there, it's relatively cool compared to the hot days in August when they were going 2-a-days. So I guarantee that the Newton County Rams, especially if they can go tonight without having to go, a lot of players going both ways, I think they'll be in real good shape.
This Newton Ram football team looking to duplicate their rushing performance of a week ago, when they gained 311 yards on the ground. They almost got 100 yards passing as well. They broke the 400-yard mark in total offense, a good marker that you're having a great offensive game. Only trouble, Paul Dailey, is they gave up 400 yards as well.
It's true. It was definitely not a defensive game last Friday night at Homer Sharp Stadium, giving up 400 yards. We saw a total of over 800 yards in total offense from both teams. A lot of offense, not a lot of defense, but it was an exciting game. And what we're seeing here tonight may be another defensive struggle.
That game, by the way, featuring 820 total yards, 8 touchdowns, 38 first downs, 115 penalty yards. The list goes on and on. That game was just loaded with things if you just talk about just pure yardage, be it penalties, offense, whatever.
One thing I'd like to ask, Kevin, is since we do have some time and as the players gets up on his own power, how long does it take you to do these stats?
We work hard on the weekends. Our entire crack statistical staff goes hard at work on the weekends. They get paid a little overtime for it.
Well, I'll tell you what, if I ever decide to go back to grad school and I come up with a couple of math classes, I'm going to see if you can tutor me. You displayed your skills well.
Ladies and gentlemen, hopefully during the 1995 season we won't be at loss for a statistic. We hope that we'll have a statistic for just about everything.
Shandy King was the injured player, but he's walking off on his own power, maybe a leg cramp or maybe just a little bruised thigh, but he's walking off on his own power, and looks like can't really tell who's in to replace him. The quarterback came out there for just a minute, but he's not in there now.
Here goes Cleary and the Newton Rams on third down, and it was just a straight dive play with the quarterback, just seeing if he could gain the first down, and they did. Richie Cleary has the first down, so the Rams with their first down of this game, and they'll be at about their own 17-yard line. Plowing slowly upfield, of course, Shandy King, it's important to have him back in there for the Heritage Patriots. He is their punter and handles a few other duties as well.
Well, you're kind of worried about it because his leg is injured, so I don't know if that's his kicking leg or not.
First down at the 17. Richie Cleary and the Rams without a passing yard yet, but they've attempted a couple of passes here, just a bit incomplete. Here goes Price trying to hit the corner, and no such luck there. He almost had a shot at the corner, but came up and was hit hard by Casey Mitchell, the senior defensive end. And saw that Price was trying to hit the corner and stopped that in a hurry.
Well, Tyrus Hardman was the lead on the sweep play there, and he actually just missed the block. I guess he thought Johnson was a little bit more outside him, and decided to let the Heritage Patriot defender go by, and that was the defender that actually brought Jonathan Price down. But as I look out on the offensive line, there's a couple of changes. T.J. Harper's moved down to guard, and Tommy Durden has been brought in, and both of those guys on the left side are averaging about 6'4", 6'5". Got a huge offensive line on the left side of the center.
Look for them to use that side of the field quite a bit. Here comes Cleary on the give, the draw play to Price. Price breaks one tackle. He's got some room, looking for the sideline. The 25, close to a first down. He may have gotten it there. Nice play there with Cleary and Price. Price just stayed at home and got some big yardage because of it.
Richie Cleary, his first 3 games, has done an excellent job of play fake. He does it on the option. He does it on the draw play. And I guarantee you, he faked a lot of people out with that. It looked like he went to drop back a pass, but actually just did a draw to Jonathan Price. And it's going to bring up third down and very short. Call it 1 yard.
Last time this happened, they go to Richie Cleary. That's what they did last time. And Cleary's a big man himself. And in the book, Cleary is listed at 214. He might even be a little more than that. So he definitely has the potential to gain that first down all by himself. This time he's going to try to use, looks like Price, and Price has that first down. And he's past the 25 to the 26. Let's hold for that for just a second. Is that Alex Watley that's out there?
It sure is.
Number 22, Alex Watley took the football. So that substitution, 11 starters on offense, 11 starters on defense plan of Coach Cook lasted 1 series.
That's a pretty good idea, bringing a senior, a veteran, Alex Watley, to come in on 3rd and short to carry the ball. You're not losing a lot there. Good play, good decision there by Coach Cook.
This one is eating some time off the clock. Rams now at their own 31-yard line. Cleary has a little bit of running room. He's going to keep it himself. Makes the pass, now 35, 40. Out of bounds. He may have the first down. He's about the 43-yard line. The spot looks like a first down spot. Good heads-up play from Cleary, and the pump fake drew a couple of folks off and allowed him to gain that first down.
Good job there by Richie Cleary to decide to take the ball up under his arm and just go ahead and run it. He's had 11 carries this season for negative 10 yards, so that ought to help him out a lot. It is going to be a first down for the Newton County Rams on their own 43-yard line.
So another first down as they start from their own 43. That'll put Cleary into positive territory as far as yards are concerned. He's got to be happy there. Price with the handoff, and Price is going to be met and stuffed. And when the Heritage defense, especially Casey Mitchell, the man that came up and hit him, when Mitchell sees Price with the football, he's coming up and making some big hits, so you wonder how often they'll go to that side. Mitchell's playing some good ball.
Well, what happens is, I hate to harp on Tyrus Hardman, but he's continually missing the block straight on the straight dive, and what happened is Coach Cook got a little fed up with it and took him out and brought Patrick Gaither back in. Patrick did not play last week, so he ought to be rested up. He had a little nagging injury last week, but he's back in there, so look for Patrick to apply a little bit better blocking than what we've seen thus far in the first quarter.
So the Rams really have a rotating system here of fullbacks and tailbacks. Hardiman's been in there, Gaither, and of course Price and Watley. Cleary looking for the pass here. The man is not open. He is still looking upfield and complete. Patrick Gaither at the 35 down to the 30-yard line. Yes, the Rams complete a pass. Yes, we get excited here in the press box because it's another first down And the big-time passing play, that's what a passing offense will do for you, move you downfield in a hurry. Now, Rams in Heritage territory at the 30.
Good job there by Richie Cleary to decide to wait on Patrick Gaither to get open. Aaron Winston, free safety for the Heritage Patriots, had him covered, actually deflected the ball. Patrick Gaither had a lot of concentration, came down with it. And that's one thing we're going to have to talk about, Kevin, is you cannot keep Patrick Gaither on the bench. He's going to have to play both ways here tonight in order for Newton County to be successful.
I suspect we'll see Gaither, Watley, and Price with a lot of action tonight. Here comes Price. Price on first down. Watch the penalty flag. But when they give to Price here on first down, he has had absolutely no luck. In fact, he's taken the ball 4 times now on first down for negative 6 yards. And so we'll have to see what the penalty flag's all about then.
So he's going to be holding against the Newton County Rams. On that play, it was a little misplay. Looked like Patrick Gaither went the wrong way. He ran into Richie Cleary, and that just kind of formed a little a bad intersection there for Jonathan Price. He had nowhere to go, and it just kind of bottled up on him. But looks like the play is going to be delegated anyway because there's the holding penalty, and it looks like Heritage is going to accept the penalty. It's going to back them up. It's going to bring up first down and 3,000 miles, it looks like.
Yeah, they're all the way back to the 43-yard line here. So the penalty goes against the Newton Rams. It will stay first down. That's the good news. The bad news, though, the first down marker for our next first down stands at the 19, and the football sits at the 43. It's a long ways to go, even in 4 plays. Of course, Richie Cleary in this Ram offense has that passing potential that they have not had. Cleary gives to Price on first down, and Price can't escape the tacklers. They're going to bring him down behind midfield. The sophomore linebacker, Jimmy Gaddy. You can tell that this Heritage defense plays with some intensity, and they've been wrapping Price up in a serious way.
I tell you what, they apparently watched game films against when Newton played Redan when they were successful in the draw, a little bit successful, not really successful, but they were very successful against Mount Zion. It looks like Heritage watched that film, and Jimmy Gaddy was there to read it perfectly and backed up Newton County even more. So it's going to bring up second down and a long way.
Rams have only 55 penalty yards for the year coming in, but already 18. Here in the first quarter, we have 3:44 left. Now Cleary's going to look downfield. He's got a little bit of open room, and he is going to be hit hard and brought down at the 42-yard line. It's going to bring up third down and huge long yardage situation. I think he was looking for Cisco, but Cisco was covered well.
Good job there by Jason Sternman to apply a really big hit after Richie Cleary was being dragged down. I guarantee you Richie's going to feel that one. It's going to bring up third down and still a long ways to go. Look for your good receivers to come back in. Stephen Smith is back in and Danny Cisco, so it's definitely a passing situation.
Well, the Rams certainly have driven a long ways downfield. They started at their own 5. This play is number 12 of the drive. The biggest one, the pass play, of course, from Cleary to Gaither for 30 yards. Cleary goes over center here on third down. He gets pretty good pass blocking, has lots of time to look downfield, looks down, and incomplete. Stephen Smith was hit big time by number 7, Matt McCain, and a flag is down at the 25, and Stephen Smith is also down. He got hit big time by Matt McCain, and we'll see what this flag's all about.
I'll tell you what, Matt McCain really leveled Stephen Smith, and he's just coming off an injury. He got hurt last Friday night against Mount Zion, and he got leveled there. He's moved around talking to the coaching staff, so we'll find out exactly what's happening. But we are watching the flag. Coach Cook comes onto the field. Looks like it's going to be holding against the Heritage Patriots, defensive holding, and that'll be a big break for Newton County.
It most certainly will on this third down and long yardage play, and Stephen Smith is down at the 19, and with the lick that was put on him, Coach Cook is out there, as well as one of the assistant coaches. Now Stephen Smith is up. He's going to walk off the field under his own power, which shows some intestinal fortitude on his part, because definitely Matt McCain, the senior quarterback, is hit more like a linebacker.
Well, I tell you what, Stephen Smith's one of those tough guys. He's a senior. He's tall and lanky, and I know that kind of jarred him a little bit. And as we look at number 7, Matt McCain, he's over there rolling his hands around like he did a really good job. And it was a great hit, but I guarantee you Stephen Smith's going to go back after him later on in this game.
So it'll be third down and only a country mile to go now here for the Rams. The ball on the Heritage 32-yard line. We'll have a third down, 12-yard situation. 2 minutes, 48 seconds left in the first quarter. No score here from Reed Stadium. Rams and Heritage Patriots, a very traditional rivalry. Cleary on third down looking for the pass. It is up, and James Jackson with the catch at the 15-yard line. And Jackson, tremendous reception there, and it'll be a first down at the 12-yard line. Jackson had to jump up over 2 men covering him to make the catch, and look at the big tight end.
Good job there by James Jackson. He had one reception against the Mount Zion Bulldogs for 14 yards, and that was a big reception here against the Heritage Patriots to bring up a big first down. It's going to be 1st and 10 for the Newton County Rams on the 14-yard line. Call it the 13-yard line. Good job there by the Newton County offense.
Well, we know this much. The Rams like to establish the run and then try to execute on 3rd down with the pass. Only trouble is the run has forced them to go to the pass. They haven't been able to establish the run, but boy, oh boy, have they established the 3rd down pass. They've done it in 3 straight games.
A little confusion in the backfield.
They've got together now. 1st down, Hardeman will take it, and Hardeman was hit by the Heritage defense, 4 or 5 of them right on top of him. And Cleary had to go back and talk to Hardeman. You wonder if the defense didn't pick up on it and immediately sees that and know that Hardeman was going to take the football.
Well, Hardeman, whenever Newton County lines up in that little wing T formation with 1 setback, it's probably going to be a misdirection play, and that's exactly what they ran with Tyrus Hardeman. But number 60, Matt Pryor, he was sitting there waiting on that, and he made a really good lick in the backfield, and it's a big loss for 2 yards.
This is the 15th play of this drive here for the Rams. 1:38 left. Price is going to take it, and he is eluding one tackler. Now he's brought down, and he was brought down for about a 7-yard loss. Price was looking for room, and someone completely missed an assignment on that side, and a big-time loss, and here we go once again.
Don't really want to call any names, but someone on the right side of the offensive line over there just completely missed a block. Just maybe a missed assignment or something, but it left Jonathan Price back there as a victim, and he got hit. It's going to bring up a long 3rd down situation. Call it 3rd and about 16 yards to go.
This is the Heritage ball control offense that we were used to from the last couple of years, except they've mixed up the run and pass a little bit. And guess what? With a 3rd and 18, I have a feeling we may be going back to the air. Jarvis Johnson and it looks like Danny Sisko, the 2 wideouts. And here comes a flag thrown in the Heritage secondary.
It's going to be a delay of game against Newton County, and that's another mental mistake that's going to back them up another 5 yards, and it's going to bring up 3rd and 23. And again, you know, they're taking themselves out of field goal position. Another thing you got to worry about, Stephen Smith is over there. He just got racked a couple of plays earlier. Don't know what kind of how he's feeling, so definitely the penalties and the bad breaks, mental mistakes that put Newton County back 3rd and long.
48 seconds rather left in the 1st quarter. Here's Cleary looking for someone downfield. It's up, and Jackson misses the opportunity to catch it at the 12-yard line. So it'll be 4th down with the ball spotted at the 26. It would be a 43-yard field goal attempt, and here comes Stephen Smith. And Tyrus Hardeman was getting a chew-out session from one of the defensive coaches, I believe, but one of the offensive coaches, I should say. And he'll be back to the sideline to receive some more of that.
Well, he's missed a couple of assignments, but this is his first time starting. I know he's got some jitters, and this is the 1st quarter, so look for him. He's a quality athlete. Looks like Stephen Smith is, again, going to attempt a long 42, call it a 43-yard field goal attempt. So apparently he's not hurt too bad.
Smith is 0 for 1 in field goal attempts. It was a 46-yarder, though, kind of in desperation in the 2nd quarter of a game late. The hold was not a great one. Here is the kick. It is up, and it's good. A 43-yard attempt for Stephen Smith and didn't clear the post by much. But ladies and gentlemen, that's a 3-0 lead for the Newton Rams, and a smile across the face of Stephen Smith, who may have gotten his revenge on Matt McCain and the Heritage Patriots.
I tell you what, give all the credit in the world to Danny Sisko. That was a bad snap. Danny Sisko got the ball up in order for Stephen Smith to get a good kick away, and it just did clear the post. But I guarantee when he talks about it tomorrow at the dinner table, he'd probably say it cleared it by about 20 yards. But good job there by Danny Sisko to get the ball in the right position for Stephen to get a good kick away.
I've got to make a correction. I said the hold was not a great one. It really was the snap, and Sisko did turn that around, putting it down just in time for Smith to boot that one through. And talk about a game of inches.
I know, because you see that foot coming, you want to move that hand because you're sitting there wobbling the ball around. But Danny Sisko did a good job of getting the ball up on the tee, and I tell you what, good strong legs. Apparently Stephen got maybe the breath knocked out of him earlier in that series, but came back out strong and booted a 43-yard field goal that put Newton County up 3-0 over the Heritage Patriots.
Rams will kick off, and Heritage has an interesting set here. 5 men up front around midfield, 2 folks at the 35, and then 4 all the way back inside the 10. So there are 25 yards of open field separating these guys here, the front 7 and the back 4.
What they're trying to do there is just get a wedge going, a little momentum, have about a 20-yard head start against the Newton County defenders. Maybe a good idea just to poach one right up where no one's at.
This one down to around the 8-yard line, taken now out to the 10, to the 20, and receiving some good blocking out to the 25-yard line there for the Heritage Patriots. That was Jason Valdez who did that. and a 17-yard return after the 55-yard kick.
I'll tell you what, the coaching staff for the Heritage Patriots must have a lot of confidence in their sophomore quarterback to put it back there deep to receive. We've witnessed so far in the first quarter what a runner he is, and there he is returning kickoffs.
This is only Heritage's 5th play from scrimmage if you count the punt. That's how much Newton has touched the football, and there's 20 seconds remaining here in the first quarter, so gives you an idea. The Rams have run just about 20 plays from scrimmage. Valdez here on first down gives to one of his backs. It is Harold Walker, and Walker didn't have a whole lot. He did sort of fall forward for the yardage, and that'll probably be the last play of the first quarter. So as time expires here in quarter number 1, the Newton Rams leading 3-0 thanks to the long field goal by Stephen Smith and the good holding of Danny Sisko. So we will hope to continue this as we bring you live broadcasts of the Newton Rams and the Heritage Patriots right here on WGFS. East Metro Communications urges you to support the Newton High Rams. When you can't be with them, East Metro helps bring the action to you via live cellular broadcast of the game.
Hello?
Hello?
Morning, sir.
Where are you?
I'm still undercover eating breakfast at Shoney's.
I sent you there hours ago to find out why everyone goes to Shoney's for breakfast instead of my restaurant.
I think it's Shoney's all-you-care-to-eat breakfast bar, sir.
You think?
Well, I'm only halfway through the 40 delicious breakfast items.
Shoney's breakfast bar features 40 items?
All you care to eat, sir.
No.
At one very low price.
No.
Everything from freshly prepared favorites like scrambled eggs, pancakes, bacon, sausage, to tasty surprises like real buttermilk biscuits and real... sticky buns, sir.
Come back, Ludlow. We've got work to do.
Sorry, sir.
Sorry?
I'm so impressed with their all-you-care-to-eat breakfast bar, I got a job at Shoney's.
But you're my best busboy.
Shoney's is my destiny.
But, son...
See you, Dad. Tell Mom all right, okay?
Okay.
Check out Shoney's Breakfast Bar every morning, but most of all on Football Friday mornings when we bring you the Coach's Breakfast from Shoney's at Turner Lake and Highway 278.
Back from that kingdom known as Reed Stadium. Here it is, the Newton Rams and the Heritage Patriots, 3-0 Rams on top as we start the second quarter. Valdez with the run on second down. He gained a yard, maybe 2. He had some open field, but the Ram defense closed it up, and Paul Dailey here, the Rams are yet again, I should say the Patriots, yet again in a third down and long situation.
Good job there by Nikita Webb and also James Jackson on the option play. James Jackson got blocked and still made the play. Good job by him.
Valdez, the 6th play from scrimmage in this game. He is passing. It is up and incomplete. Drew Hinesley, the man he was looking for, but threw it a little bit wide of him, and Hinesley trying to do a little acting job for the officials, but he really had to dive and easily missed that one.
Good coverage there by Alex Watley. We talked to him this morning on the breakfast, and he said he was just dead tired last Friday night against Mount Zion, and he actually blowed a couple of coverages. But one of the things Coach Cook is trying to do is give him a lot of rest so he can, be a standout on defense, and we saw really good coverage on his part on that last play.
Well, once again, it's a 3-and-out for the Patriots, so look at the Ram defense. They are back and in style, at least so far. Here in this game, looks more like the first week defense. Shandy King, that was not Shandy King that was punting. We'll check on it in a moment. That was Jimmy Gaddy who was punting that football, and it went past midfield and back into Newton territory, but good field position here for the Rams. The ball looks like it'll be spotted at the 46.
Good thing, we've seen the offense for the Newton Rams out there most of the first quarter. Matter of fact, the only plays that Heritage ran on offense was 3 in the first quarter, and Newton County's been out there the remainder of the time. That's a big break for the Newton County defense. And your offensive people don't get as tired as defense for some reason. I guess because you're on the offensive side of the ball. But it brings up really good field position. Newton County has a 1st and 10 on their own 47-yard line.
They gained 5 first downs in the first quarter. So in essence, in terms of first down, the offense looks like the Week 2 offense. The defense looks like the Week 1 defense against Redan. So if we can continue that, I'm sure the Rams with Coach Cook will be pleased.
That's exactly what you got to have in order to win big against a team that you're big rivals with. You got to have everything clicking at one time. And hopefully we can see that here in the second quarter and the remainder of the second half.
11 minutes and 7 seconds here left in the second quarter. Conyers, Georgia, Reed Stadium. Traditional rivalry here between the Rams and Heritage Patriots. On first down, Tyrus Hardiman. Hardiman breaks a slew of blocks out past midfield, past the 45, and close to a first down. And Tyrus Hardiman just continued driving and spinning, and it looks like a little better move from him, so apparently the discussions on the sideline have helped.
I tell you what, he was just stopped for no gain right there on the line of scrimmage and just kind of did a little wiggle and a sidestep and a juke and ended up gaining 9.5 yards, so great job by him, and I'm sure he got a little talking to over the sideline. Maybe it helped.
And here's the pitch to Price. Price will have the first down and a lot more. He is at the 30. Jukes the man out. He's at the 25, at the 20. Has to cut back inside, and he is tackled at the 10-yard line. Jonathan Price with the run of about 35 yards, but if you had to actually count it in true distance, looks like about 60 or 70 the way he had to spin in and out and juke all those folks.
I tell you what, as we just talked about, Tyrus Hardeman must have talked to somebody on the sideline because he delivered an excellent block on that play. It was just a sweep right. Tyrus Hardeman led Jonathan Price to the right side, threw a tremendous block. It sprung Jonathan Price for a big gain. So Newton County's in great shape, 1st and 10 on the Heritage Patriots 10-yard line.
So this time they're driving downfield in a serious hurry. 2 plays, 43 yards. Here's Watley from the 10 into the 5. Driving. Check and see if it is a touchdown. I don't think it is. Very close, though. Official standing at the 1-yard line. So call Watley with a 9-yard gain. And this will set up the Rams' 2nd down and goal from the 1. The chance to put some more points on the board.
Newton County could really get a first down. I think in order for them to get a first down, they'd have to go to the 1-inch line. Mason, I'm sure that's the last thing on Coach Cook's mind. But he brought Alex Watley in there and gave Jonathan Price a breather, but Jonathan's back in there. And good substitution there by Coach Cook to get Alex Watley in the ballgame.
So the Ram offense here with 9:42 remaining. Cleary tried to push it across. Touchdown, Newton Rams. That was Cleary, I believe, that pushed it across from 2 yards out. 9-0, the Newton Rams on top. And here we're looking at a game where the Rams get a chance to, so far in this first quarter and a half, shut out their opponents and put some points on the board, showing a little consistency on both sides of the football.
That's one of the things Coach Binky really wants the defense to do. He wants the defense to be up to par to last year's defense. And what we've seen thus far in the first game, they did an excellent job. A little lapse last week against Mount Zion, but they're doing a good job tonight against the Heritage Patriots. And Stephen Smith is in for the extra point.
Stephen Smith has got to have a little adrenaline going through him after the 43-yard field goal attempt went through the uprights. Snap is a little low, and Cisco is going to have to take the snap and just be hit hard and brought down at the 8-yard line. The snap once again was low. In fact, it was on the ground before it got to Cisco, and he's wondering what happened. Cisco was brought down at about the 8. So the point after attempt is no good, and the Newton Rams on top 9-0. But Paul Dailey is still a little bit of an adventure sometimes on those extra points.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, they're not getting a really good snap from center. Dan Cisco's doing, all that he can to get the ball on the tee, but he's having a tough time getting the ball from center. So, and he actually took a hit from number 10 on the Heritage Patriots, Lee Gray, and Danny wasn't real pleased with that hit. He got up and kind of said, "I'm not really appreciative of that hit." But definitely, they've got to do something about the long snap, and they've got to make some kind of adjustment so Dan Cisco can get a good hold for Stephen Smith.
Smith will be kicking off. Back to receive Vino Gibson, the senior. Harold Walker, the freshman. A.J. Pittman, a junior, is back there. And also Valdez, the sophomore. So you've got representatives of each of the 4 high school classes back there. Freshman, a sophomore, a junior, and a senior back in these. Up and inside the 10, it looks like. In fact, it bounces at the 2. Taken there by Valdez. Valdez busts off one person, then another one. He almost broke free. In fact, he's still up at the 30 and now down at the 32 and out of bounds. And Jason Valdez can certainly put some hits on people. And when a blocker comes at him, he goes straight into him with his shoulder and with his head, and he's gained a lot of yardage that way.
He put a couple really good moves. He put a move on Patrick Gaither down there on about the 10-yard line, put another move on Gary Brown about the 25-yard line, and thanks to number 40, Jeremy Hitson pushed him out of bounds right there on the 33-yard line.
And the officials call a timeout. Valdez is kind of hobbling off the field. So it looks like Ryan Piper will get a chance to lead this Heritage offense. Piper, the quarterback to start the year, but moved to the flanker position when Valdez took over at quarterback, and Piper looking toward the sidelines, and this will be his first play as the quarterback, and he'll have to split out close to the sideline to check the signals.
He's looking for his coach for a signal. I don't think they're going to be able to get this play off.
First down from Heritage's 33-yard line. They sprint to the line. Piper over center. Will they get the snap off? They have got to be running it close, man in motion. They got it off. Piper looking to pass here on first down. The pass is up. Intercepted. Gary Brown at the 50-yard line at the 40. He's hit hard there. Stays up. 35, 30, and brought down there. Gary Brown playing center field. They went his way, and Heritage pays for it. Newton football.
I tell you what, that's kind of an odd call for the Heritage coaching staff to bring in your second-string quarterback, even though he did start the year. Ryan Piper come in and throw a bomb on his first play at quarterback tonight. Threw it up and just threw it right in Gary Brown's hand. Did a good job of returning it, and it's going to bring up another great field position and big break for the Newton Rams.
So the Rams can really try to put some insurance on the scoreboard here. First down at Heritage's 32-yard line. Cleary eludes one blocker. Big pass up. Cisco almost made that catch at the 5-yard line. And Cleary did a good job of getting that ball off with a man right in his face. Check the flag here at the 43 behind the line of scrimmage. It goes against the Rams.
It's going to be another holding call against the Newton Rams. This is going to be the third one of the evening. One was declined. One was taken. I'm sure this one's going to be taken too. I think Jonathan Price is going to be the one guilty of that because someone broke through the line and Jonathan just tried to protect his quarterback, Richie Cleary, and just grabbed a hold to the rusher. Not a bad idea. Maybe he should have done something else, maybe knock his legs out from under him, but it's going to back up the Newton Rams another 10 yards. It's going to be first and about 20. Well, I'll tell you what, it's going to be longer than 10.
Since the 10-yard penalty is from the spot of the infraction, it'll be essentially a 20-yard penalty against the Rams. It won't count for 20 penalty yards in the book. But note this, the Newton Rams had only 5 penalties against them in the first 8 quarters of football, their first 2 games. Here in a quarter and some change, they've incurred 4 penalties for a total of 33 yards already. Price is going to take it here. First down. Look at the running room. He's at the 45, at the 40. Cuts back inside. Jukes 35, 30, 25. And at least back in where it'll be about second down and 9. But Price had to go 1.5 miles to get it down to second down and 9. And from first and 30, I should say, I think the Newton Rams have found their weapon here.
I'll tell you what, a lot of people are saying, why in the world is Jonathan Price back there? He's so small, he needs to be a flanker. But that's exactly why Jonathan Price is in the backfield. You get him through that line of scrimmage, he's going to do some excitement. That's exactly what he showed on that play. And in the first quarter and here in the second quarter, he's a great runner and got a lot of quickness.
First down from the 25. There's Price on the pitch, and he cuts back inside. Look at him at the 15, at the 10, inside to the 8-yard line. And all of a sudden, Jonathan Price, who in that Redan game had 13 carries for 13 yards, really struggled when he got hit hard by the Redan defense all night. Here, all of a sudden, he is shining.
What I like seeing Jonathan Price is not only is he making really quick moves to get through the line of scrimmage, but every time he's about to get hit, he covers up the ball with both hands. It's something we didn't see in the first game when he had a couple of fumbles, but apparently he's practiced that over the last couple of weeks and doing a really good job. It's going to bring up a time. Looks like Heritage is going to take a timeout.
Here's an interesting stat for you, Paul. The last 3 times that Jonathan Price has touched the football, 77 yards rushing.
I tell you what, you ever get him through that line of scrimmage, Kevin, he's going to break a lot of plays. He's very exciting. He's very quick. He makes people look kind of stupid back there when he's approaching them because they have no idea where he's about to go. He's got a lot of quick side steps. I tell you what, he's a great athlete, and he can't get through the line of scrimmage without the offensive line doing something for him. So let's give some credit to those guys up front. They're doing a great job. And I tell you what, I'm very impressed with number 73, Tommy Durden. I mean, he's a huge guy. I haven't called his name all year long, but him and T.J. Harper over there look like maybe a front for the Atlanta Falcons. They're huge out there.
Durden is 6'5", 280 is his official listing. He is a transfer student from South Gwinnett, and as you know, South Gwinnett has a fine tradition of football, so good to have him down here. And he has helped out. He's been hurt for the first 2 games. This is his first start, and he's been a big help. Now, in the first couple of series, he had to get the jitters out as well. Once he did, though, this Ram team certainly responded. First down from the 9-yard line. Rams up 9-0 here, and on first down, up the middle for maybe 2 or 3 yards. It'll bring up second and goal. We have 8:03 left here.
They're doing a little flopping on the offensive line. Looks like the guy we were just talking about, Tommy Durden, lined up. He was supposed to be, he's listed as the left tackle, but he lined up at right guard there with T.J. Harper lining up at tight end. So they're doing some flopping on the offensive front for the Newton Rams.
This is probably to try to shake up things for that Heritage defense in front. As you know, Casey Mitchell made some big hits. They may be trying to do something, keep him off of the people carrying the football. Richie Cleary looking for Gary Brown in the end zone. Was incomplete, a little over his head. Brown had the chance to make the catch, but had to jump up very high to do so.
That's just one of the things that Coach Cook's trying to do is put an athlete out there and just let him make the catch. And what they're doing is they got T.J. Harper lined up at tight end. I don't know if he's going over there and telling the referee that he's eligible, but he is eligible on that line of scrimmage. He's got number 68, so he's definitely got to talk to the official before he goes to the line. But maybe they got something up their sleeve to throw the ball to T.J. Harper and make the senior get a touchdown. Who knows?
Well, here's the third down play, so we'll get a chance to see it. 7:35 left in the second quarter from Reed Stadium, right here in Conyers. They're going to pitch out to Price. Price is going to look for room on the corner. Touchdown, Newton Rams. Price from 7 yards out makes it 15-0. The Newton Rams able to dominate as they're driving downfield. They started at the Heritage 32-yard line, then had a 20-some-odd-yard penalty against them. Price, though, came back with 44 rushing yards on 2 carries. He fittingly puts it in here from 7 yards out. It's 15-0.
What we saw on that play, Kevin, was a wing T formation. The first time we've seen it this year from Newton County. Put Gary Brown in a wing T. He looked like he did a reverse and led Jonathan Price to the corner. And you have 2 quick athletes out there. Just simply outran the Heritage Patriots. And it looks like Newton County is going to go for a 2-point conversion.
They're not going to mess around seeing what happened last time they went for 1, so it's the point after. Attempt, Cleary's pass is up, deflected, and incomplete. So the Rams, for the second consecutive time, score a touchdown but cannot convert on the extra point. They're up 15-0. We're going to take a quick break here. Newton Ram football on WGFS AM 1430, live broadcast made possible by the friendly folks at East Metro Communications, Covington's authorized agent for AirTouch Cellular.
Fundamental money management begins with learning how to save. And at Newton Federal, our Passbook Savings Account is the perfect fit for attractive rates and access to your funds. And everyone loves having a nest egg to rely on for those rainy days. Newton Federal Savings and Loan, FDIC insured, 3175 Highway 278, Covington.
Back live here at Reed Stadium in Conyers, Georgia. The Newton County Rams are on top of the Heritage Patriots by a score of 15-0. The 12th ranked Rams showing it tonight. Back with your play-by-play, Kevin Holden.
Thank you very much, Paul Dailey. The Newton Rams ranked number 12 in Quad A in the state of Georgia, behind 11 carries and 90 yards from Jonathan Price. He scored that last touchdown. 15-0 the score. Stephen Smith will be kicking off. His kickoff is inside the 5, taken by Walker there, and you can see the speed. Look at him break free. And he is still up. He's at the 50-yard line. Stephen Smith, the only man that can beat him, and Smith trying to catch up to him. Don't think he's going to do so. Touchdown, Heritage Patriots. It is a 55-yard kickoff for Stephen Smith, but the return of Harold Walker, a freshman, 95 yards and a touchdown for the Heritage Patriots. That man broke in a hurry once he touched the football. He got to midfield much quicker than the Ram defense expected. He left them all in the dust.
Not only did he make a lot of runs, he also took a couple of hits, too, and still continued to go. And Stephen Smith was there by himself, and the Walker kid actually had someone leave him. So great play there by Heritage Patriots kickoff return to put them back in this ball game.
And it's 15-6 now in favor here of the Newton Rams. And looks like that Heritage will just go for 1 here on the point after attempt. And to attempt the point after is Darrell Reiser. He is a sophomore. Handles most of the special team duties. The hold is good, as is the snap. And the kick is up, and it is good. And it's 15-7 in favor of the Newton Rams here. And Paul Dailey, looks like we may have ourselves a ball game, especially if Harold Walker touches the football a few more times.
Well, we knew the freshman definitely got some talent if the Heritage coaching staff was going to make him start as a freshman, and he showed a lot of speed there. He's a deep back. He caught the ball there on about the 5-yard line and took it back 95 yards, took a couple of big hits. Jeremy Hisson hit a tremendous shot. Gary Brown hit him. Stephen Smith just got turned around, couldn't catch up to him, but gave a great effort. But I guarantee you the coaching staff for Newton High is going to talk to their kickoff team.
Well, this is the way the Heritage game has looked from an offensive standpoint. They've run 7 plays from scrimmage. They have not completed a pass. They've had an interception. They've had 5 rushing plays for 12 yards. They've had a fumble, which was recovered, and they have 7 points on the board, which didn't come from any of this. It came from a 95-yard kickoff return for a touchdown.
Well, that shows you how important your special teams are. I mean, the special teams can get you right back in the ballgame, and that's exactly what Heritage Patriots have done. And the Newton County special teams are definitely going to have to do something to adjust that.
So it will be kicking off here for the Heritage Patriots. Darrell Reiser, the sophomore, who just kicked that extra point. Back for the Newton Rams, standing just inside the 10, Gary Brown and Alex Wadley. Good speed back there. That's something the Rams have traditionally been famous for. The kickoff returns have traditionally been pretty good, and this one just kind of squibbed out past the 30 and down to the 22-yard line. Patrick Gaither fell on it there. 37-yard kick, and they didn't want to test Brown or Wadley.
No, it looks like they respect Alex Wadley and Brown back there. They just kind of squibbed it through the line to Patrick Gaither. Patrick just kind of jumped on the ball. It's going to give Newton County a 1st and 10 on their own 23-yard line.
Well, Newton has run so many plays from scrimmage that we're running out of room here on the page for the first half. They ran so many plays in that first quarter, we ran over into the second quarter page, and we're running out of room there as well. And there's still 6:54 left. This has been almost an endless second quarter. Cleary is looking for someone downfield on first down. It's up. James Jackson with the catch at the 40 and hit hard, and he lost the football, I think. They motioned Heritage football. James Jackson got hit hard at the 40-yard line, fumbled at the 43, and a big-time pass completion turns into a fumble.
A.J. Pittman, he got beat on the play. James Jackson just did a little crossing pattern from his tight end position, rolled out with Richie Cleary. Richie Cleary found him crossing the middle, and James made a really good reception, and all of a sudden just got nailed by A.J. Pittman and coughed up football. So here comes the Heritage Patriots, 1st and 10 on the Newton County 44-yard line.
Last thing you want to do for a team gaining momentum is to turn the ball over and give it right back to them. And here on first down, the ball is on the ground yet again. It is still out there at the 36. Heritage has recovered the football. It looked like Walker took it, I think, on the run. And he fumbled the ball, but they got it back. It was Gibson who carried the ball. And he gets an 8-yard gain, but we've had some kind of crazy football here.
I tell you what, Vino Gibson just took the straight dive off the left side, broke right through it. He looks like a lineman carrying the ball because he's bigger than most everybody out there. But someone stripped the ball, and Heritage was able to get back on it. Looks like the Heritage Patriots are going to call a timeout.
It's another fumble, but it is recovered. Second down, now at Newton's 36. It'll be 2nd and 2 here for the Patriots. It looks like the Rams are able to drive downfield pretty well here, Paul, but the turnovers that were a problem against Mount Zion showed up here again. They turned the ball over 4 times last week. That's their first of this one, but they've allowed the 95-yard kickoff return as well.
Well, the defense is playing good. The special teams kind of had a lapse there and allowed the Heritage Patriots to gain 7 points. But I tell you what, the mental mistakes, the fumbles, the penalties are killing the Newton Rams. Same thing last week. It took them almost made them lose the game last week, and we're seeing some of the same things this week. But the defense is out there. The offense, the coaching staff has a lot of confidence in their defense. So looks like one of the officials may have been injured on that play, and the paramedics are out there kind of looking at him. Maybe he did something with his arm, but it looks like he's going to stay in the ball game.
I'd like to see that grit.
He's a tough guy.
That's right.
Maybe that's his flag hand. He won't throw it anymore.
Sounds like a good one to me. The fewer yellow hankies we see here, I think the better, at least from our standpoint. Another statistic here to give to you about the plays from scrimmage. The Rams have run 32 plays already here in the first half. Heritage, well, they've run 8. And the score is 15-7 in favor of Newton, with Heritage driving downfield here. Second down from the 36. Valdez leading the offense. Gibson takes it, breaks through the line, breaks through another man. And he's tripped up by James Jackson. And down at the 28-yard line, Heritage playing physical football. And Vito Gibson, a strong man, can definitely do just that.
It was a real big back. He's running the running back position. He's real big, hits the holes really quickly. Got hit a couple times, and it took James Jackson to take his legs out from under him to bring him down.
That's the first time that Heritage has had a first down in this game. They're at the Newton 26. One-man split, wide out toward the sideline. That's Drew Hinesley. Man in motion. That's Ryan Piper. And Harold Walker takes it here, and Walker was looking for room, but ran right into his blocker, as a matter of fact, it looked like, and gained a couple of yards perhaps, but it'll be second down at about 7.
Good job there by Chris Middlebrooks and also Greg Benson to turn that play back inside. Chris Middlebrooks did exactly what he had to do. Step up, turn that play back inside. Got a little help from Greg Benson and got credited for the play.
And Ryan Piper will come out of the action here. Drew Hinesley stays in for the Patriots. Valdez, the sophomore quarterback, looking impressive. We've seen some good young quarterbacks here. They're trying to get this one off quickly. Here goes the man in motion. Taking the football is Vino Gibson. Vino dives forward to about the 20-yard line. It's a 3-yard gain. It brings up third down and 4, and all of a sudden it's 3 yards and a cloud of dust here. But on third down, I have a feeling we won't see that this time.
No, we probably won't see that. Probably some play-action play, maybe a little bit of rollout to the wide side of the field over here. What we've seen with several teams thus far this season is run away from James Jackson and Greg Benson, and they're on the weak side. So look for Heritage to come to this side of the field on the strong side.
2 back, 2 receiver set, kind of a pro set formation this time. And this time the ball is on the ground after the fumble. Newton has recovered. Danny Sisko at the 30-yard line. The pitch was to Walker yet again. Here we have the sophomore Valdez, the freshman Walker. We don't want to harp on the class status. But twice now, on the pitches to Walker, he's fumbled the football, maybe looking upfield a little bit too early.
That was kind of awkward because they had a little misdirection, had a fake dive, and then he tried to pitch the ball. Danny Cisco was doing a little blitz there and came in, there right in front of him with the ball on the ground. So Newton County has a big break, has the ball 1st and 10 on the 29.5-yard line.
And the Rams had a 21-yard passing play and a subsequent fumble the last time they touched the ball. Here's Price looking for something on the corner after the pitch. And he gains out past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. And with 4:04 left, Paul, the Rams can run out a little bit of clock, but they've at least got to get down in field goal range, if nothing else, to make it such that Heritage can't score the touchdown, get the 2-point conversion, and have a tie game here.
Plus, you want momentum on your back going into halftime. So Newton really definitely wants to get down there and get some kind of score on the board.
Second down from Newton's 33-yard line, and Price takes it on the delay here. He is still up at the 30 and looking for some room, and tackled at the 32-yard line. He was trying to go right up the middle, and you know that if Price doesn't have that hole open where he can do his spin moves and juke moves, otherwise I don't think he's going to gain a whole lot of yardage with his size.
Well, his size, if he gets stopped there on the line of scrimmage, he's got a tough road to hoe because, those guys are a lot bigger than he is, and they just kind of throw him around because he is so small. But once he gets breaking through, he makes a lot of people look bad.
You'll see a lot of carries for 1 yard or 2 or negative yardage, then you'll see the 33-yarder and the 40-yarder. Cleary's going to pass on third down. Good coverage. Cisco dropped the pass. That one was right at him, so the Velcro hands, apparently the Velcro gloves back on the Newton sideline this time, Paul.
But when I was watching Danny Cisco, I kind of isolated on him right there, and he broke open, ran a post route straight down the field, and I think he kind of looked and was waiting to see where that free safety was. The free safety delivered the same hit on Stephen Smith earlier in the first quarter, or earlier in the second quarter, so mental mistake there by Danny Cisco. Needs to just go ahead and catch the ball, then go ahead and take the hit.
And Stephen Smith, who's been averaging about 33 yards a punt, will kick this one, and that may be his best of the year. Big booming kick, and that's going to bounce inside the 20, inside the 15, take a little Newton roll to the 12-yard line. I have a feeling that may be his long one of the year. Coming in, it was 37 was his long kick of the year, and this one is definitely going to beat that.
That is a long kick right there. I don't know exactly how long it was, but not only did he get a good bounce, but it was a high, long spiral, and the receiver just kind of stepped up and signaled for a fair catch, trying to deter the Newton defenders to go down there and touch it. But good kick there by Stephen Smith, and he's got a lot of confidence after making that 43-yard field goal and punting real well tonight.
55-yard punt for Stephen Smith, and that's huge with 2:39 left here. Puts Heritage way back in their own territory at their own 13. Jason Valdez trying to lead the offense. Here he gives to Walker, but Walker was shut down immediately up the middle by that Ram defensive front.
Good job there by the Newton County defense to close down the line of scrimmage. Greg Benson, all those guys up there, Emilio Reed, Havius White, Nikita Webb doing a great job. Patrick Gaither and Jamaica Usher just closing that hole there. And it's going to be 2 minutes and 12 seconds remaining here in the second quarter.
Brian Edwards is in there on the defensive front, a sophomore, but he's a big one at 257, along with Nikita Webb. They're getting a little younger across the defensive front there. And the pitch, and once again, Harold Walker puts the ball on the ground. This time he falls right on top of it. And Walker and Valdez are having a lot of trouble getting together as far as the pitches are concerned. 3 times now they've tried it, 3 times fumbled.
What they're trying to do is they're trying to quick pitch it to get Walker on the corner because of his speed. But no success on that play, and Newton County decided to take a timeout to stop the clock.
While they do, we're also going to take a timeout here. You are listening to Newton Ram football here on WGFS AM 1430 East Metro Communications. Paid to provide equipment so that you can hear live play-by-play action when the Rams are on the road.
Your one-stop sporting goods shop is Ludy Sports Shop, located at Newton Plaza on Highway 278 in Covington. Show your support for your favorite professional or college team or even the Newton High School Rams by picking up sweatshirts, hats, jackets, and much more at Ludy Sports Shop. They can do screen printing for churches, schools, and other groups. They also sell baseball cards. They sell shoes at Ludy Sports Shop, and they also sell hats. That's Ludy Sports Shop, located on Highway 278, 787-3014.
With 1 minute and 1 second remaining in the second quarter. Back with your play-by-play, Kevin Holden.
All right, Paul Dailey, we've got really a galaxy of possibilities here as it's 15-7 in favor of the Newton Rams, but Heritage way back, third and about 15 yards to go from their own 10 with just under 2 minutes left to play. Valdez is going to look for some room here, and he is going to tuck it under and try to run, and he has got the first down. He's still up at the 27, tackled there, and clock ticks down to about 1:40 left, and if you're the Newton Rams, Paul, you definitely want to try to keep the Patriots away from the field goal position.
Good job there by Jason Valdez. That was actually a misplay. The running back ran the wrong way, and Jason Valdez was there left alone with nothing to do. And showed a lot of poise in the sophomore to just tuck the ball under and just run as far as he could. He picked up a lot of yardage the first down, and Heritage is traveling down the field with 1 minute and 28 seconds to go.
Meanwhile, it'll be the battle of the band shortly as the Newton Blue Rambler Band and the Heritage Band taking their places on their respective sidelines, and a flag here as we check and see what that's all about. The clock stops with 1:21 left.
It's going to be all sides on the Newton County Rams. It's going to be a 5-yard penalty to bring up 1st and 5 for the Heritage Patriots.
Well, the Newton Rams so far in this half have as many penalties as they did in the first 2 games of '95, so that's been something that I'm sure Coach Cook is going to talk a lot about in the locker room.
Well, he talked this morning about, on the coach's breakfast, about how prepared his team was, and it looks like they may be having a little mental lapse, and I guarantee he's going to have a harsh talking to them at halftime.
That's Ryan Piper in there to play quarterback, and there are flags everywhere as the pass is up and incomplete. It was deflected at the line of scrimmage, and Drew Hinesley was the man that Piper was looking for, but before he got that pass off, there were several yellow hankies on the field, and the penalty goes against the Patriots.
Good job there by the Newton County defensive front. They just had like an 8-man line. Don't really know what they had an 8-man line on 1st and 5, but that's exactly what they did. Had a big rush there. Jason Valdez stepped back a three-step drop to try to throw the ball, but took a punishing hit by Greg Benson. Greg Benson just put him on his back, and we're waiting to see what the penalty is.
Looks like that 8-man front may have been trying to rush Ryan Piper. As you know, he's attempted one pass right into the hands of Gary Brown. So that was a big benefit for the Newton Rams, as Brown was able to have that pick and give the Rams back the football, and they were able to capitalize on it. So with the penalty going against Heritage, they kick the ball on back to about the 27-yard line, so it'll be a 5-yard penalty against the Patriots.
Don't know what the penalty was. I think it was an illegal formation or something. One of those odd kind of signals that I'm not familiar with, but backs them up 5 yards, it's going to be 1st and 10.
So we've wasted essentially about a minute off the clock, and we've gone nowhere. 1st and 10 here for the Patriots. 50 seconds left. The Rams leading this one by 8. It's 15-7. Rams have had flashes of brilliance and flashes otherwise. Valdez going to tuck it under to the 36-yard line, and he's going to be tackled. I think he's short of the first down. And, of course, it brings up 2nd down with a yard or 2 to go, and the officials are going to call a timeout here with Valdez scrambling close to the first down territory.
Tell you what, he's a heck of an athlete. Reminds me a lot of the Brian St. James that we saw last week. Jason Valdez, running the quarterback as a sophomore, has a lot of ability not only to pass the ball, but also to run and read his receivers and read the defense. A very good job by the young man running the Heritage offense.
With 34 seconds left, a timeout was called on the field, so we are going to keep it here. Only 34 seconds left, and there'll be a lot to sort out at halftime. I have a feeling here, Paul, you can look at a lot of good things on the Ram offense, the way they've moved the football, but then there are a couple of bad spots, too.
Well, I'd love to be a fly on the wall in the Newton County locker room at halftime, because Coach Cook and I'm sure the offensive coordinator for the Newton County Rams are going to have a long talk with their offensive unit. The special teams coaches are going to have to do their talking to them. So it's not going to be a pleasant halftime experience for any of the Newton County Rams.
Bear this in mind, though, the Newton Rams in Jack Cook's entire career here have been a great third-quarter team. In the third quarter this year, they're outscoring their opponents 14-zip. So we can look for a good Ram team to come out in quarter number 3. And Valdez on first down goes to Vino Gibson, and Vino Gibson had absolutely nada as the clock ticks away at 23 seconds and a timeout.
He was punished. He was punished by Patrick Gator. Valdez tried to come through, handed the ball off, and just Patrick Gator punished the runner coming to the line of scrimmage.
So back inside the 35, it'll be third down from the 34-yard line of the Heritage Patriots. Third down and about 4 yards to go for them. And with the timeout call with 22 seconds left, yet again, we will keep it here. We'll have plenty of time to talk about all this stuff at halftime. And, of course, we'll be looking forward to Big Dog's picks at halftime. We know that he has had the chance to inspire a lot of us with the great picks the last couple of weeks and really set our minds straight about a lot of college and pro games.
Well, it's strictly for fun, Kevin, and we're having a good time with Big Dog's picks, and got a pretty good percentage, too. And we'll be talking about that more at halftime and look forward to it. We've got some really good games going on tomorrow. Thriller down there in down at University of Florida where the Tennessee Volunteers go down there. We're going to be talking about that one and also a couple of other exciting college football games.
Well, of course, you and I did our first game together from right here 2 years ago, and things just get better and better, and Big Dogs picks a better percentage this year. Harold Walker takes the run on the third down. I don't think he has the first down. He sort of dove forward. If he doesn't have it, that might be the final play here, but they are going to call timeout because he is going to be pretty close to the first down. Walker has got good straightforward speed.
Yeah, it looked like the referee was going to take a little bit of time to bring the chain gang in, but they decided not to do that. They decided to go ahead and move the chains down for first down, and that made Heritage go ahead and take a timeout, their last one.
Now 10 seconds left on the clock, and Heritage has taken their final timeout. The Rams have scored their 15 points this way. They scored them in a hurry in the second quarter. They got the ball at their own 47-yard line and drove downfield 5 plays, 47 yards. Finished off by Richie Cleary, kind of rushing a ball in from the 2-yard line over his center with 9:38 left in this quarter. They put up the 6 points and then missed on the extra point conversion. Then 2 minutes and 9 seconds later, Jonathan Price from 7 yards out put another 6 points on the board, and once again they missed. They were going for 2 actually that time and missed it. And of course earlier on, Stephen Smith, the 43-yard field goal attempt, capped a big-time drive downfield in which the Rams win 16 plays, and on the 16th play of the drive, which started at Newton's 5, the field goal was good. Now 10 seconds left. The Rams up by 8, and Heritage trying something desperate here with 3 wide receivers. Time probably for one play. Here's the ball up. Gary Brown, the closest man to it. It's even over his head, and the incomplete pass means 4 seconds left, and Heritage may have one more chance here.
That was nothing but a Hail Mary to the left side where they just threw the ball up and was hoping one of the receivers would come down with it. The only one that had a possible chance at that play was Gary Brown, and it was actually thrown over his head. So it only took 6 seconds off the clock, and now we have 4 seconds remaining, so look for Heritage to maybe try the same thing, possibly on the other side.
Here's the odd part. Ryan Piper is now back in at quarterback. Jason Valdez is back on the sideline, so they've been rotating both of those and apparently have confidence in both to be used in any situation because they've substituted in the middle of drives like this. So now it's Piper. Piper, the pass is going to be up, and it is going to be intercepted by Gary Brown at the 30-yard line, and they'll bring him down right there at the 30. Drew Hinesley finally finishes off the tackle, but Gary Brown with his second interception of the half, and so far he has been the defensive star. They have gone his way. Ryan Piper specifically has gone his way. In fact, Piper has 2 attempted passes, and they've both been caught by Gary Brown.
Maybe they've been throwing on in the off season or something, but what happened there is Ryan Piper apparently has a little bit stronger arm, and Heritage coaching staff decided to bring him in and maybe just throw a long pass, but threw it right in the hands of Gary Brown, so Gary Brown's got 2 interceptions, and that goes down in the stats as an interception, so something to put to his credit.
That's exactly right. In fact, the Newton Rams secondary has had a lot of feathers in the cap the first 3 weeks. We've seen an interception in a big situation. Game 1 against Redan, same thing against Mount Zion. We are going to come back. We're at halftime. It's 15-7. The Newton Rams on top, and they'll have a good talking to in the locker room, and we'll come back. We will, among other things, talk with Chris Bridges, and when he comes back, of course, he is with the Covington News and is a terrific football expert, and the big dog, Paul Dailey, will be speaking with him. Speaking of the big dog, he has his picks ready for you here at halftime, and we'll also give you, a statistic or two, as we kind of normally do here on Newton Ram Football. We'll be back right after this halftime show on WGFS, AM 1430.
If you're considering a cellular phone, go ahead, shop around, check out all the deals. But when it comes to cellular experience, product selection, and the most important thing of all, service after the sale, East Metro Communications stands alone. They're this area's oldest cellular agent, and now, for your convenience, they're open on Saturdays from 10 to 2. Go by and let Brenda, Tom, Bert, or Joe tell you about their latest promotion. That's at East Metro Communications, conveniently located at Highway 278, a quarter-mile east of Newton General, 786-6796, an authorized agent for AirTouch Cellular.
The Bank of Covington offers full-service banking and convenient locations, and you can find what you want in a checking account, savings plan, simple interest loan, and 24-hour automatic banking that gives you access to over 8,000 ATMs throughout the Southeast and the USA. Just what you would expect from a leading financial institution. The Bank of Covington, member FDIC, an equal opportunity lender.
It's Summer Savers at Mayfield Ace Hardware on the square in Covington. Check out these great buys. From Heath Zenith, a wireless door chime, only $9.99. From GE, 48-inch fluorescent tubes, only $1.99 and $1.30 rebate available. Also, Ace duct tape, only $3.33, and If Great Stuff foam sealant, only $2.99. Incredible bargains, summer savers at Mayfield Ace Hardware on the Square in Covington.
Charles Evans Nissan would like to remind you the summer's almost over, and so is the opportunity to get sizzling savings on specially selected vehicles. Stop in for a test drive before the sun sets on this super sale. A 1994 Nissan pickup, only $10,995. Red hot deals on cars ranging from an 88 Honda CRX to a 95 Nissan Maxima and dozens more. Charles Evans Nissan, 1420 Irish Drive off exit 41 in Conyers, 922-7600.
Where can you find the best entertainment on television? On HBO, on Covington Cable TV. HBO features the best in box office movies, the best original movies, the best in entertainment. For HBO, call Covington Cable TV at 385-2044. For the best in movies, the best in entertainment, it's HBO. Call Covington Cable TV, 385-2044. 385-2044.
A money market account from Newton Federal is where smart money goes to live. Money that earns top rates while being instantly available with some transaction limitations. Put your money to work, real work, with a Newton Federal money market account today. Newton Federal Savings and Loan, FDIC insured.
Back live here at Reed Stadium, where the Newton County Rams are up 15-7 over the Heritage Patriots. As we speak, the Newton County Rambler Band is out there performing in front of this pretty big crowd here tonight. I'm glad that you're joining us here on AM 1430 tonight. We got Chris Bridges again. We're going to be talking about the first half, a little surprises we've seen. Maybe talk a little bit about college football tomorrow, big day in college football. But first, Chris, what do you think about the first half? A little disappointed, or what's your views of the first half?
A little surprising, if anything. At one point there in the second quarter, I felt like Newton was well on its way to maybe putting this game away early. They went up 15-0, and Heritage hadn't done anything to speak of. But all it takes sometimes is one big play, and the game is completely changed. And that happened for Heritage when they got the long kickoff return for the touchdown. That cut the lead to 15-7, and that's hardly a safe lead at any level. And you're only down 8 points. It'll take but one score, and the game is tied. So that, if anything, was what's most surprising. And that long run by Heritage seemed to affect Newton a little, because before that they were just blowing Heritage off the line and just getting big chunks of yardage every carry. And like I said, it really looked like they might be ready to put the game away, but all it takes sometimes is that one play, and it'll change the whole course of the game.
The big play Chris is referring to is the 95-yard kickoff return by Harold Walker, a freshman. Just went straight down the field, took a couple of big hits by Gary Brown and someone else, and Jeremy Hisson also hit him, but just simply outran the Newton County defense for 95 yards to put Heritage on the board for 6 points, and of course they put the point after conversion up. The Newton Rams are leading 15-7, but as you said, Chris, after that big play by the Heritage Patriots, momentum got on Heritage's side. Cranked up Vino Gibson, the tailback that we've heard so much about, big guy. It seems like we didn't hear his name the first quarter and a half, and all of a sudden in the second quarter, he comes out and just runs over some of the Newton County defenders. So he's somebody to watch as well. Anything you might be looking for? I know, as I was telling Kevin, I'd love to be a fly on the wall at halftime in the locker room with Coach Cook, because I know he's giving them a big talking to, because he said earlier today that they had a really great week of practice. They're getting rid of their mental mistakes that they made against Mount Zion, but here again tonight, we're seeing plenty of them.
That's right. We've had a couple of drop passes. We had a fumble on a pass, or a nice pass completion. But those things happen. One thing I noticed that you just spoke about in the first half was maybe the lack of Vino Gibson for Heritage. We'd heard so much about him coming in. It seems like he didn't even touch the ball maybe until the second quarter. And the first time he touched the ball, he fumbled it. Heritage didn't get the ball back. So I would look for Heritage in the second half maybe to try to get the ball more to him. Like you say, I'm sure the Newton coaches are a little disappointed. They probably feel like they were in good control of this game, and then now all of a sudden they're in a dogfight. And right now we see rain starting to fall here at Heritage. It's, anything can happen. Heritage runs the option, and that's a ball control offense. And if they should happen to tie this game or maybe even get a small lead, sometimes that 1 or 2 point lead can seem like a lot more.
I tell you what, plus they're playing here home. This is not really their home field. Of course, this is right behind Rockdale High School, but yet this is where they play all of their home games. And Heritage has definitely got momentum on their back as we speak. But right now, what we like just a little bit for that. But a couple of big games tomorrow. A lot of people are talking about that Georgia Tech-Virginia game. What do you think about that?
Well, I've been impressed with Georgia Tech this year. I believe George O'Leary has got the program turned around. And I know Virginia is favored by a couple touchdowns in that game. But if you remember, Arizona was also favored to win very easily over Tech. And in reality, should have lost the game. So I look for Georgia Tech, as you and I were talking before the game, before we went on the air, I look for Georgia Tech to pull an upset and win that game tomorrow.
I've heard a lot of people. I was watching ESPN a little bit earlier, and they were talking about a big upset. That one of the guys picked Georgia Tech to beat Virginia on that. Another big game is a big game everybody's talking about is the Tennessee-Florida game down in Gainesville. Now that's a 7-point spread. They're talking about Florida's favored by 7. What do you think about that?
Well, I believe that's going to be the shootout and easily the best game of the year probably so far. I look for that game probably to be somewhere around 42-38, somewhere like that. Tennessee showed last week against Georgia they could put some points on the board and they could move it, and they could move it at times when they had to. Of course, Florida, they've got another great team. Steve Spurrier always seems to get the players there, and regardless of what people think of him, he's a great coach. And it's someone you'd love to have coaching your team. I guess you love to hate him, as long as he's coaching somebody else, but there's no denying that he's a good coach. I look for that game to be close. I do think Florida should be able to take the game. They do have the home field advantage, but I don't think it'll be a 7-point spread.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to listening to that game. I'm going to go out to the Georgia-New Mexico State game. That should be a blowout. Georgia's favored by 33. We'll talk about Big Dog's picks on that just a little bit later. But NC State goes down to Florida State. Now, that's got to be a tough task for NC State after losing the heartbreaker to Virginia. And Florida State, another powerhouse season. They are a team above any other team in the ACC. Do you think the Florida State would have as much success in the SEC than they would the ACC?
I really think they would. I've watched Florida the last 2 weeks, and they have just looked awesome. I've never seen that type of speed on a college team. It seems like every year they get these guys who can run the 40-yard dash and 4.2, 4.3. It's just, they're playing against ACC schools. Now, granted, the ACC is not maybe the top conference when it comes to college football, but these are some good teams out there. They went through Duke. Duke had a good season last year, returned a lot of players this year, and they went through Clemson at Death Valley. It's like the score was 45-26, and that's considered close when you're playing Florida State. It seems like no one can stop that Florida State offense, and I would be surprised if anyone did all year. Definitely not in the ACC, I wouldn't think.
They are the cream of the crop in the ACC, and that division, that conference is actually coming up in football. It's always been a basketball conference, but it's coming up in football, but it's slow. With additions of Florida State like they've done, I think that's going to help out the ACC as far as recruiting, because anytime you can tell a kid, if you can't go to Florida State, hey, we play them every year, and that's a big plus for any ACC school. We also we're looking at the Georgia-New Mexico State. Now, New Mexico State's one of those gimme kind of teams that Georgia always puts on their schedule. Now, if you're Vince Dooley, your athletic director of Georgia, do you go ahead and get a Notre Dame to come in here and get a lot of revenue from television, or do you go ahead and continue to get New Mexico State, Northeast Louisiana to come in? What do you think about that?
I always feel like Georgia, not just Georgia, but other schools on the same level as Georgia, are going to have at least one game of that caliber on the schedule. You have to have them to get somewhat of a break. Georgia's coming off a tough loss to Tennessee where they lost perhaps their best player in Robert Edwards. And it's just, you don't ever want to take anyone for granted, and I've seen a lot of things happen. I know there were very few people who would have thought Northwestern would have ever beaten Notre Dame this year. So, an upset, anything can happen. I've seen a lot of strange things happen, but this, like you said, is a gimme game for Georgia. And I'm going up there tomorrow to watch the game, not so much, to see a good game. I expect to just go up there and take in all the scenery and all that. I'm not really expecting to see a good game. But I don't ever see Georgia adding someone the caliber of Notre Dame or UCLA or anyone like that, simply because you've got to give your players somewhat of a rest. Georgia has a very tough schedule as it is. And to throw in someone else like Notre Dame or Florida State or Texas A&M or someone like that, or Penn State. It's just, that would be asking way too much to play that many. It'd be like a tough game week in and week out, and you're always going to have at least one breather.
Plus, universities like Georgia, they have plenty of money in their athletic program anyway, so I guess it's a good decision on Vince Dooley's part to go ahead and schedule this to rest some people like Philip Benton, a former Newton County player.
Right.
He's been nursing a hurt ankle all year long, played really good against South Carolina, played sparingly against Tennessee. Hopefully he can maybe get a little bit of reps tomorrow and get some rest and be strong for the games that are coming up against Auburn, Alabama, and Florida. Going back to the game, tonight's game, what do you think we're going to see in the second half?
Well, I think Newton offensively, they moved the ball well all throughout the first half. I look for them to do the same thing, maybe try to get the ball more to Jonathan Price, get him around the end. He's got such good quickness. He's really put some moves on 2 or 3 Heritage players. I think they're still probably wondering how he got by them. Just taking a guess, I would think maybe Newton might try to get the ball more to Alex Watley. We haven't seen a lot of him carrying the ball tonight. I know the coaching staff decided to try to split the teams up, try to get more players in the game, give more players some rest. Once the offense comes off the field, to have the offense come off the field, not have 5, 6, 7 of them just stay out there. So maybe look for Watley to get the ball a little more in the second half. He's fresh. He hasn't run it that much in the first half. Plus, you've got to keep giving it to your go-to guy, Jonathan Price, because he's looked almost unstoppable at times.
That's one of the things that Coach Cook has tried to do, but that's one of the things that's very hard to do in Quad A, especially when you don't have that many numbers on your sideline, is to platoon. It's just really hard to do, and Coach Cook said he was going to do it at the start of this game, and ended up the first series had to bring in some of his two-way starters to go out there and play. We appreciate you, Chris, being up here tonight. As we are about to leave to go to a break, there's 6 minutes left here in the at halftime. The Heritage Patriot Band is out there playing for this home crowd, and we'll be back. East Metro Communications is paid to provide equipment so that you can hear live play-by-play when the Rams are on the road.
When you need insurance, here's the first thing you should do. Call your auto owner's agent. They are people just like you.
Join the millions who save billions the annuity way. Your auto owner's insurance agent can show you a safe and systematic way to save. Auto owners no-load tax-deferred annuities credit high-interest earnings to your savings program. All auto owners' investments are of the highest quality. No junk bonds or real estate ventures. See your no-problem auto owner's agent and save the annuity way.
Call your auto owner's agents. They are people just like you.
See Steele Jones Insurance Agency, located on Floyd Street, Southeast in Covington. Or call 786-9213, your auto owner's agent.
Auto owners, the no-problem people.
Hello?
Hello?
Morning, sir.
Where are you?
I'm still undercover, eating breakfast at Shoney's.
I sent you there hours ago to find out why everyone goes to Shoney's for breakfast instead of my restaurant.
I think it's Shoney's all-you-care-to-eat breakfast bar, sir.
You think?
Well, I'm only halfway through the 40 delicious breakfast items.
Shoney's breakfast bar features 40 items?
All you care to eat, sir.
No.
At one very low price.
No.
Everything from freshly prepared favorites like scrambled eggs, pancakes, bacon, sausage,
Uh-oh.
to tasty surprises
Uh-oh.
like real buttermilk biscuits and real... sticky buns, sir.
Come back, Ludlow. We've got work to do.
Sorry, sir.
Sorry?
I'm so impressed with their all-you-care-to-eat breakfast bar, I got a job at Shoney's.
But you're my best busboy.
Shoney's is my destiny.
But, son...
See you, Dad. Tell Mom all right, okay?
Okay.
Check out Shoney's Breakfast Bar every morning, but most of all on Football Friday mornings when we bring you the Coach's Breakfast from Shoney's at Turner Lake and Highway 278.
When you're tackling those lawn and garden chores this summer, picture yourself on a Toro Wheel Horse lawn and garden tractor. For a limited time, it's easy to buy a new tractor because you can choose from 2 terrific financing programs. Choose either no payment.
Rams and Heritage Patriots at halftime. The Heritage Band, oddly enough, Paul dressed in red, the team dressed in blue, kind of a weird one there. 15-7 your score. I'm Kevin Holden, that's Paul Dailey, and I guess before we do the first half statistics, the demand is there, so let's just go right to it. This is where Paul becomes the big dog and gives you, yes, ladies and gentlemen, the big dog's pick.
All right, Kevin, I appreciate it. Going into week number 3 of Big Dog's Picks, let's have a recap real quick of week 2. Georgia at Tennessee, the spread was 12.5. Georgia did not win. Tennessee won 30-27, but I picked Georgia. I won on that. Virginia at NC State, I picked NC State. I won that because they covered the spread. Florida at Kentucky. Florida just beat up bad on Kentucky. Poor old Bill Curry, he's going to be looking for a job real soon. I got that one as well. Florida State at Clemson. Clemson was excited about staying within 19 of Florida State. The spread was 21. I take credit for that one as well. Notre Dame at Purdue. Notre Dame was 9.5 point favorites. They only won by 7, so I'm taking a loss there. South Carolina at Arkansas. Arkansas beat up real bad on the Gamecocks, 51-21. The spread was 1.5. I picked Arkansas. Good job. Going to the pros, Atlanta at the 49ers. The spread was 13. I picked the Niners. They won 41-10. Miami at New England. I decided to pick New England. The spread was on Miami. I won that one as well. Seattle at San Diego. I went with Chris Bridges on that one because he likes San Diego. I got beat on that one. San Diego did win the game, but only by 4. The NASCAR's pick, I hated to do it, but I had to pick Dale Earnhardt, and he finished 4th. Rusty Wallace finished 1st, and he did a good job at Richmond International.
I think you should get credit for a top 5 finish there.
Well, I'll tell you what, we're gonna do that. I'm gonna take credit. I'm gonna take a tie on that one.
Yeah, get a tie. Take
a
tie.
7 correct, 2 wrong, and 1 tie. So let's go to this week's Big Dog's Picks. And again, remember, strictly for fun. First game, New Mexico State at Georgia. 33 is the spread. I'm going to go with Georgia. They're going to have a big game. Even though they're looking for tailbacks, I think somebody's going to step out. Who knows? Al Stitcher may be running his tailback.
There you go.
Georgia Tech at Virginia. Now, that's the one everybody's been talking about. I'm going to go out on a limb. I'm going to go with the Yellow Jackets along with Chris Bridges. I'm going to say Georgia Tech will cover the spread. I don't think they're going to win. NC State at Florida State. Woo, I got to go with the Wolfpack here. I'm going to go with the Wolfpack. The spread is 28. I think they'll cover. Bobby Bowden may not run it up this time. Tennessee at Florida. This is going to be a great game. A lot of people are going to be watching. The spread is 7 for Florida. I'm going to go with Florida. I think they're going to have a big game in front of their home crowd. Auburn at LSU. Auburn's favored by 6.5 at LSU, but I think Auburn's got a strong team with Terry Bowden. I'm going to go with Auburn. Arkansas at Alabama. That ought to be a really good one. Arkansas coming off a big win. Alabama's 7.5 point favorites. I'm going to go with Alabama. They haven't showed a lot this year, but I think they'll come out strong against Arkansas. The pro games. Atlanta at New Orleans. Everybody's saying New Orleans is going to win this game, but remember, Morton Anderson is now in Atlanta uniform, so look for him maybe to win the game. San Diego at Philadelphia. I don't know why I do this San Diego. I went there, I enjoyed it, but Chris Bridges said, well, let's do this one. And I'm going to go with San Diego again. Maybe they won't hurt me this week. Pittsburgh at Miami. The spread there is 7.5, Miami's favorite. I'm going to go with Pittsburgh. And that brings us to the NASCAR pick. They're in Dover Downs International Speedway. Rick Mask is on the pole, but I'll tell you what, he won't be up there very long. The defending champion is Rusty Wallace. A couple of people watching this race, Bobby Labonte. He always runs strong up there. And that number 42 car, Kyle Petty, he ought to be strong as well. But I'm going to go with Rusty Wallace. I'm going to go with a Ford, probably the top Ford out there besides Rick Mask. I'm going to go with Rusty Wallace to win at Dover Downs. So there are the Big Dogs picks for week number 3, Kevin.
There you go, ladies and gentlemen. They are strictly for fun, as you know, but you have got to be in awe of the Big Dogs picks as we reach week 3 with an astronomical percentage there. And as we get set to kick off the second half, here are the statistics that we have to give you from half number 1 of the Newton Rams and Heritage Patriots. Oh, by the way, Jonathan Price, 13 carries, the leading rusher for the Rams, 87 yards and a touchdown. Oddly enough, 77 of those yards came on 3 carries, which means 10 times he touched the ball for a total of 10 yards, but then 77 on the 3 carries. Richie Cleary has a touchdown, 5 carries, 11 yards. Alex Watley, a pair of carries, 15 yards. All in all, 25 rushes for the Rams, 123 yards, an average of 4.9 yards per rush, and a pair of touchdowns. Richie Cleary in the passing game, he's 3 for 9 for a total of 70 yards here. 193 total yards, not bad at all in the first half. Gary Brown, 2 interceptions, that's a key. 1 bad spot was 5 penalties for 38 yards. And here's an interesting stat for you, Paul. On first down plays, when they went to Price, in the first quarter he touched the ball 4 times on first down, negative 6 yards. So they only went to him 3 times in the second quarter on first down, 48 yards. So he looked a lot better in the second quarter.
Good job there by Jonathan Price, and also the offensive line for Newton County Rams going into the second quarter. But midway through the second quarter, after the big 95-yard return by Harold Walker, kind of just made the Newton offense and the Newton defense kind of just in awe of that tremendous run. hopefully they've gotten a good talking to at halftime by Coach Cook and all the defense and the offensive coaches, and they'll come out here with a little fire under them in the second half.
Jason Valdez had 40 yards for Heritage. He's the leading rusher on only 5 carries. The person who's touched the ball the most, Harold Walker, 7 carries, -6 yards, 3 fumbles, 2 of them recovered. But he's got 89 yards total offense because of a 95-yard kickoff return for a touchdown. We'll skip the other statistics except to state this much. Ryan Piper and Jason Valdez combined to go 0 for 4 in the passing game. Piper, 2 passes, 2 interceptions for Gary Brown. So Gary's got to be pretty happy about that. And another interesting note, it began to rain very heavily as the bands were performing at halftime, but now the rains have let up, and perhaps we'll have a little lighter weather here for football.
I think what happened was the Newton County Rambler Band was doing such a great job it needed to be cooled off a little bit, and Mother Nature came to the call and put a little soaking on the Newton Rambler Band and also the Heritage Patriot marching band, and now the weather is back to where it was in the first half, and Newton County is off to kick off.
Well, they got the rain out of the way while they weren't playing football. Nothing wrong with that. And the kick goes down to the 12-yard line, fielded there by A.J. Pittman, but everybody stops as there's a little yellow hanky. They kind of stop for that a lot around here.
It's probably going to be an all sides on the Newton kickoff team. Maybe somebody got a little bit too excited to go downfield. It's probably going to back up Stephen Smith's teeth 5 yards to about the 35-yard line. Actually, it's going to be all sides on the Heritage Patriots. How many times do you see that? All sides on the front line of the Heritage kickoff return team. So a little mental mistake there, and that's going to give Stephen Smith a little extra room there. 5 yards up, he's going to be kicking from the 45, so maybe he can get it in the end zone.
Well, you know, he's been averaging coming into this game almost 58 yards a kickoff, and 58 yards here puts you 3 yards back in the end zone. And I think Stephen Smith wouldn't mind starting the second half with a touchback. I think his teammates also wouldn't mind that either.
Yeah, that'd be a big help to the Newton County defense to back up this Heritage offense and make them start on their own 20. So let's see what happens.
Here comes the kick. It is high up. I don't think it's going to fall in the end zone. It's not. It's going to be taken at the 9. And the man taking it out to the 30-yard line for the Heritage Patriots, and he's tackled at the 30. Check and see who that was there. Carrying the ball, that was A.J. Pittman. After the kick of Stephen Smith went for 46 yards after the return out to the 29-yard line, so a 20-yard return.
Good tackle there by Chris Middlebrooks, but I guarantee I watched number 40 on that play, Jeremy Henson. I guess he's like the torpedo guy on that play. He just goes down and just annihilates several people. He didn't come up with a tackle, but he put a couple people on their back.
We've got a little something to say about that after the first down play here from Heritage's own 29. Valdez is back out there, and he's just going to take the football himself after there was nothing there on the handoff. The option play to Vito Gibson had nothing, and Valdez took it himself. Here is what we were talking about. As you know, there was a combined 9th grade JV game that the Rams won 32-3 over Rockdale, and apparently Hinson put a hit on somebody from the opposing team that is one that they're not going to forget for a long time, and some coaches saw it, so I think that's pretty important.
Small guy that loves to hit. You got to like that.
He's put some hits in practice, and in those games, as far as the JV and 9th grade games, I think the ball is on the ground here on the second down play. It is. We'll check and see who has the football.
We also have a flag on the play, too, so let's see. It looks like Newton County is going to have the football.
They will now. Definitely, we got to watch that flag.
Maybe that wasn't a flag, Kevin. I think that was just a ball mark that the referee threw down. So forget about the penalty. That was simply a ball mark, and Newton County is going to have the ball 1st and 10 on the Heritage Patriots 36-yard line.
The Newton Rams in the third quarter this year have not given up a single point. As a matter of fact, they have done very well holding the opponents. The opponents only have 53 yards rushing, 52 yards passing in the third quarter. This is definitely the quarter where the Rams take control of games. They'll try here again at Heritage's 36 or 37-yard line, and they start taking control with a flag.
I'll tell you what, we got to get a little bit better job out of our spotter up here. He told me there was a flag on the play before, and didn't even see the flag on this play, so we got to get a better job out of our spotter, Al Stitcher. But he's doing a good job. We appreciate him being up here. That's going to be all sides against the Heritage Patriots. It's going to give Newton County 5 extra yards. It's going to be 1st and 5 for the Newton County Rams on their own, the Heritage Patriots 32-yard line.
So they'll have first down at the 31-yard line after the penalty goes against Heritage. And taking the ball is Jonathan Price. Price out past the 20 to the 18-yard line.
Great block there on the left side for the Newton Rams. I'm trying to look over there. Tommy Durden, those guys over there, Tommy Durden, T.J. Hopper, one of the wide receivers over there, I think it was Chris Middlebrooks, threw a great block and enabled Jonathan Price to get around that left side. Whenever he gets around the corner, I mean, that's going to make the secondary shake in the shoes because they don't know which way Jonathan Price is going to go.
First down now at the Heritage 18-yard line go the Newton Rams. They are driving downfield here, and they give to Price again. And Price breaks straight through to the 10, to the 5. Did he get the touchdown? I think he's just short at the 1-yard line. And he is, as a matter of fact, yet another strong run from Jonathan Price, who with that last rush past the 100-yard mark, he had rushed so far for 87 yards. He rushed for 13 to top it off right at 100. Now he's got some extra.
I cannot tell you how fast he hit that hole. He ran right behind Josh Gill and Britt Mass and Jeremy Lilly. All those guys, I mean, he hit that hole as quick as possible. The linebackers didn't even see him. But luckily, the secondary was able to slow him down to prevent him from getting into the end zone. But it brings up a 1st and goal for the Newton Rams from about the 1-yard line.
4 chances to put it across from a yard out. There goes Gaither. Touchdown, Newton Rams. Patrick Gaither will get credit for the touchdown here with 9:54 remaining. But you have to know that the way that the Rams did this one, the good running of Jonathan Price.
Good job there by the offensive line, Jonathan Price, and all the guys on the offensive squad. I tell you what, I loved being in that locker room at halftime because whatever somebody said, it definitely put a spark up under the Newton Rams. And Stephen Smith is going to come on and try the extra point.
Will the Rams have their first successful extra point attempt of the night? We will see. We haven't really seen any good snaps from the center yet on special teams tonight. Cisco is holding, and here comes the snap. It's a much better one. Hold is down, kick is up, and no good. Smith missed that one wide right, so the Rams are 0 for 3 in extra point attempts tonight, yet they have 21 points on the scoreboard thanks to Smith's long field goal.
I'm still not sure who's doing the long snapping, but that was definitely a better snap from center. I think Stephen just kind of misaligned that extra point, and Newton's having some trouble on their special teams. That may haunt them later on down the road when they really get into their region play if they keep missing these extra points.
So the Rams go down, and in typical Newton Ram fashion, the way they've been rushing down the field in overtime against Mount Zion and in some of the plays, their drives here against Heritage in the first 3 quarters. This drive, 3 plays, and it goes 31 yards for the touchdown. So easy as that. Gaither runs it in from a yard out. Got 9:54 on the clock. It's 21-7. Rams on top of the Heritage Patriots, so we've seen a little more offense and some defensive consistency here as well. Next Ram game, by the way, against the Lithia Springs Lions. That will be at Homer Sharp Stadium, and the Rams will have the chance to do something only 2 other teams did. Go to 4-0, and you had the chance to be a part of that once already.
Yeah, back in 1981, that was a very exciting time for us to go 4-0, and hopefully the Newton Rams will come out of here tonight. We don't want to jinx them or anything, but hopefully they can make a couple more scores and put the Heritage Patriots to bed.
Stephen Smith with the kickoff, and he boots this one big time down to about the 2-yard line. Walker will take it at the 2, and he is smashed at the 20-yard line and knocked immediately by Tyrus Hardiman, who brought him down. And for a moment there, Walker with that good, strong speed, looking like another Walker who played 50 miles or so away from here.
I tell you what, he went straight up the middle, and Tyrus Hardiman came out of nowhere off the left side over there and just nailed him and brought him down right there on about the 21-yard line. So better job there by the kickoff team for the Newton Rams.
And Heritage begins their second drive of the quarter from the 21-yard line. Stray man on the field, and he wasn't even dressed out, but splits to the sideline. First down, Heritage deep in their own territory. And there was a fumble on the play. Jason Valdez fumbled the ball at the 20-yard line. Who has the football? Newton has recovered the football. How about this one, ladies and gentlemen?
Good golly.
3 plays from scrimmage, 2 fumbles. The Rams have recovered both times. You tell me these people aren't playing inspired third quarter football here.
Good job there by T.J. Harper and the defensive line of just crushing down. A mishap there by Jason Valdez getting the snap from center, and the Newton defensive line just jumped on the ball, and it's going to bring up another big break for the Newton Rams. It's going to give them a 1st and 10 on the Heritage 22-yard line.
Well, they've had great field position to start their 2 drives. They started at the 36, then Heritage gave them 5 more with a penalty, and then they went 31 yards in 3 plays. Here, they're at Heritage's 21.5 to start this one, and Cleary looking to pass on first down. He eludes one man coming in, and a pass intended for Tyrus Hardiman was incomplete, but he was hit by both Casey Mitchell and also Bubba Kelly, a pair of seniors in the defensive end positions who were all over Cleary.
Yeah, what happened was they just converged on Richie Cleary. He had a little bit of time. He was just looking at his different receivers. Nobody was really open. He had Tyrus Hardiman out on the flats all by himself, but didn't recognize him in time and took a punishing blow by those two defensive ends and was just able to get the ball away.
2nd and 10 now from the 21-yard line. The Rams have done a little more passing on first down here in this game, trying to experiment as we go towards sub-region play. Jonathan Price gets it here on 2nd down. He stays up inside the 15. He was brought down at the 20, but just stayed up as often as possible, and a Heritage linebacker came and hit him from the opposite side and knocked him closer to the goal line another 3 yards.
He's real slippery. It's kind of like, when you put one of them worms on your hooks when you go fishing, you can't get him, you can't just hold it just right, and that's exactly what the defense for the Heritage Patriots are doing. They just can't hold Jonathan Price. Is slippery, makes different moves, and don't want to call him the worm. We'll call him Jonathan Price, but he's doing a good job.
The worm is a little bit taller, I think. Price takes the football here looking for first down yardage. I think he got it. Looks like he's inside the 10. Price has carried the ball 4 times in this quarter, and he's going to be in excess of 40 yards on only 4 carries, Paul Dailey.
I'm telling you what, I cannot believe how quick he gets to the corner. And whenever he does not make the corner, somebody's blowing a blocking assignment because he hits that corner as quick as anybody that I've ever seen. And he's getting a lot of good blocking up there by Tyrus Hardiman and also the offensive line.
Already the Rams with 3 first downs here. They had 2 in the second quarter and 5 unofficially in the first quarter. That makes 10 here early in the third quarter, and they go to Price again, and this time Heritage's defense all over it. In fact, the only person who has touched the football on a rush other than Price was down at the 1-yard line when Gaither ran that ball in, and you can imagine Heritage will be keying on Price more and more here.
Jonathan's probably going over, hey, Coach, next time we get down there to the 1 or 2 yard line, let me get the ball. I'm the one that got us down here. But they decided to give it to Patrick Gaither, but I'm sure he's going to politic and maybe try to get a touchdown down the road.
Scoreboard here at Reed Stadium in Conyers reads 7:33. Rams up by a pair of touchdowns, 21-7. And they pitch to Price on the left side. Price is looking for some room and barrels forward, head first, down at the 3-yard line.
Okay, here we go, the call. I'm sure he's playing, please don't take me out. Let me run the ball and get a touchdown because that gets your name in the paper. Plus, he's going to have plenty of yards. He's going to be in the 150 to 160-yard range, so definitely wants a touchdown under his belt.
He gets 4 on the carry. It'll be 3rd down from the Heritage 3-yard line. 3rd and goal. And we see Price in there. We see Jeremy Lilly coming out of the action. So the Rams going for a little more height here down at the 3-yard line. There is Price sitting back there in a backfield. Guess who gets the football? Guess who's plowing through? It's Price. The officials will check to see if he made his way in. There is no indication as of yet, and I believe he is up short by just a few inches.
Well, if James Jackson would have had a striped shirt on, he signaled touchdown, but his signal doesn't count. It's the referee's. It's going to be 4th down and probably just about 4 or 5 inches, and that's going to make Heritage call a timeout.
Well, you wonder what the Heritage defensive coaches are going to talk with here with the Heritage defense, given that Price has carried the football 5 straight times, and you're at 4th down and a couple of inches to go.
I doubt very seriously Jonathan Price is going to get the ball on this play. I'm sure they'll probably give it to somebody with a little bit heavier, straight up the middle with Patrick Gaither. It's kind of risky, Kevin, to go on the corner way down here because if you don't, especially 4th down, that may be a momentum booster for Heritage. So look for Newton County to have Richie Cleary go straight behind the center, Josh Gill, or maybe give it to Patrick Gaither over T.J. Harper and Tommy Durden.
And poor Jonathan Price has 50 yards right now on 7 carries, and we're not even halfway done with the 3rd quarter. I'm just talking about 3rd quarter yardage here. On those 7 carries, he has 50 yards, but no points on the board to show for it because twice they've gotten down there. The first time they gave it to Gaither from the 1, they're right back at the 1, and as you mentioned, he probably won't see the football here.
I hope they do give it to him, to tell you the truth, Kevin, but I don't think Coach Cook will. We'll see in just a few minutes. Newton County goes up to the line, 4th down, and about a half yard for a touchdown.
As you know, earlier in this game, Cleary kind of dove forward and got his own touchdown earlier in the game, and that's what he's going to do here. Touchdown Newton Rams. Richie Cleary was the man who ran it in from a yard out, so Price, well, he brings them down, and someone else gets the point.
He's probably going to go over and say, come on, Coach, I need to get a touchdown up under my belt, but I tell you what, when you have a big quarterback with the strength of Richie Cleary, that's your best move, especially with only a half a yard away from a touchdown. Just give it to him, sure, hand off, go straight over the top behind your big offensive line. Great job there by the Newton offense.
Well, it's 27-7, and after a scoreless first quarter, the Rams put 15 points on the board in the second quarter and already 12 here. They're going to try to make it 13. Newton Rams special teams, it's not just a job, it's an adventure. Snap good, hold good, kick up. Kick is good. Yes, folks, the Rams convert on the extra point.
That one looked good right there. That's the way it's supposed to be.
28-7 Rams. We're going to take this break and come back. 6:30 left in the third quarter. East Metro Communications is paid to provide equipment so that you can hear live play-by-play action when the Newton Rams are on the road.
If you're considering a cellular phone, go ahead, shop around, check out all the deals. But when it comes to cellular experience, product selection, and the most important thing of all, service after the sale, East Metro Communications stands alone. They're this area's oldest cellular agent, and now, for your convenience, they're open on Saturdays from 10 to 2. Go by and let Brenda, Tom, Bert, or Joe tell you about their latest promotion. That's at East Metro Communications, conveniently located at Highway 278, a quarter mile east of Newton General. 786-6796, an authorized agent for AirTouch Cellular.
30 seconds left in the third quarter. Newton County is up 28-7 over a strong Heritage Patriots team. Back with your play-by-play, Kevin Moondog Holden.
Thank you very much, Big Dog Paul Dailey. And I would call this game more than excellent, Paul. I'd call it magnificent, as a matter of fact here. Kickoff for the Newton Rams and Stephen Smith. Boots this one down and touched by one player, looked like at the 30, and touchdown to the 10-yard line. Picks up there, and Jason Valdez has a lot of running room. He's out to the 30 and kind of wrestled out of bounds by Gary Brown at near the 40-yard line. Valdez touched it at the 10, and once again, another big return for the Patriots. That's been a bright spot for them.
I tell you what, a bad call there by the official, because Jason Valdez went down to his knee to pick up that ball. Whenever your knee touches the ground in high school football, the ball is down. So missed by the referees. Big break for Heritage.
Well, Heritage has had a chance to run 3 plays in this quarter. All of them runs from Valdez, 2 of them resulting in fumbles. So guess who's the new quarterback? Ryan Piper, and he pitches to Harold Walker, and Walker is going all the way to the sideline to look for running room. That ball was on the far mark, closer to the Newton sideline, and Walker did a ton of east-west running, and for his troubles, he gets a loss of 3 yards.
Great job there by Stephen Smith to come up and force the option inside. We got a flag on the play. We're going to be watching that, but excellent job there by James Jackson to spread the ball out, and also Stephen Smith to make a big unassisted tackle.
Rams with a field goal and a pair of touchdowns in quarter number 2, and a pair of touchdowns here in quarter number 3, and with 6:09 remaining, it's Newton 28, Heritage 7. Rams look to make history in a couple of ways tonight, and there's a penalty against the Heritage Patriots. First, let's talk about this, though. If the Rams win this game tonight, they will take the season series lead 8-7-1 against the Patriots. It'll also be the first time in school history that the Rams have started consecutive years, 94-95, 3-0.
Hopefully Newton County Rams can do that. Now, I'll tell you what, that'll be a big momentum going into their region schedule. That last call that we were talking about, Kevin, was unsportsmanlike conduct, and we see all the referees pull out their little cards in their pockets. What they're doing there is whoever was called for the unsportsmanlike conduct, his name goes on that little card. Now, if he gets another one, if he gets called for another unsportsmanlike conduct, he's ejected from the game. Now, you ask me, Paul, how do you know about that? Well, my name was on that card several times, but I never got the second call, but that's exactly why I can explain the little card for unsportsmanlike conduct.
You kind of took advantage of the first offense warning there a lot of times, did you? Have the chance to terrorize folks to your names on there once. I can understand that completely. Under 6 minutes here left to play with the ball all the way back on the Heritage 21-yard line. And Piper hands off here on the second down play. And not a whole lot of yardage, maybe a yard, maybe 2, but not much more for Walker.
Good job there by Nikita Koloff-Webb to pull the ball down. Nikita Webb doing a good job out there of crunching the ball and forcing it inside, made a big tackle.
Nikita Koloff-Webb, habeas corpus white, and now we have to come up with names for the other 2 defensive linemen, Greg Benson and Emilio Reed. That'll be our spotters' jobs for the third quarter, to come up with names for the rest of the defensive line. Third down, long yardage here for Heritage from the 23. Piper looking to pass, it's up and incomplete. Hinesley was looking for the football out there, and he would have been open. And if that ball had been right at him, he'd have had the chance to possibly make the catch in a first down, but it was poorly thrown.
Yeah, 4th row there by Jason Valdez, or actually, was that Jason Valdez throwing the ball? It was Ryan Piper. Pretty good coverage there by Alex Wally, but he had too big of a cushion to be playing man-to-man, but big break for Newton County for a missed throw by Ryan Piper. It's going to bring up 4th down for the Heritage Patriots. They've got 200 miles to go for a first down, so doing a good thing they decided to punt.
They'll be punting with Jimmy Gaddy. Shandy King, their normal punter, was injured in the first quarter. And this one's going to be taken by Cisco at the 50. He is looking for some running room outside. and is brought down at the 43-yard line. The man making the tackle is Aaron Winston, a senior defensive back.
Good job there by Dan Cisco. The ball hung up in the air. I was looking for him to make a fair catch, but decided not to, and maybe he's trying to get a little bit of confidence on catching the ball because he has dropped 2 balls earlier in the first half. So maybe he got his Velcro gloves on at halftime, and he's going to come back.
Well, Sid, that's the first return yards that Danny Cisco has had so far here in 1995. So he at least has that much on the scoreboard. The Rams start this drive. First down at their own 43-yard line, and Jonathan Price was looking for some room to try to go somewhere, and he was surrounded literally on all sides by Heritage defenders who brought him down for a big loss on first down.
Again, Tyrus Hardiman was leading the dive play and just couldn't find anybody to block, and by the time he turned around to see what his partner Jonathan Price was doing, he was being mobbed back there by about 14, maybe just 11 Heritage defenders.
And if you ask Price, he'd probably say it was 14 or maybe more. Certainly looked that way from up here as well. He was literally surrounded by folks up there. Cleary goes to Price on the pitch, and this time Price slips, and as you know, it rained some during halftime. I wonder if that had a factor in Price slipping. He got a yard and had a little bit more, maybe a couple of more yards gained, but he slipped on the turf there, and you got to wonder if the rain played a role.
I'm sure that the weather's had a lot to do with it. We still see a little bit of a fine mist out on the field, so it's definitely put it wet. And it's going to bring a third down, probably 14 yards, call it 13 yards to go for a first down.
With the Rams up 3 touchdowns, we thought we might see Doyle Baker later on, but we'll talk about that in a moment. Richie Cleary was looking to pass, but got no pass blocking. In fact, it looks like the Heritage Patriots brought their corners in or their linebackers in and got Cleary for a sack and a loss.
They definitely had a little game or a stunt going on there. They rushed all 7 up men. Well, brought Richie Cleary down. He had really nothing to do. I mean, he had nowhere to look. He didn't have time to set up. Good job there by the defensive coaching staff for the Heritage Patriots to run a little game and caught Newton County off guard. It's going to bring up Stephen Smith to punt it away.
We saw Doyle Baker over on the sideline, but it looks like he is not dressed out for this game. So we'll check and see what's up with that. So Cleary, it looks like he'll be quarterbacking a lot, and Stephen Smith boots another one. Hinesley's going to take it at the 6-yard line, and we'll have a 2-yard loss. He was hit right away by who else? It looks like Danny Cisco that hit him out there.
Good job there by Dan Cisco. He made a couple of really big plays here on special teams, so maybe he's trying to get up and being a leader on the special teams and getting these guys up. Made a great play. Very surprised that the receiver of the punt there for Heritage didn't call for fair catch because he was on his own 5 or 7 or 8 yard line. Decided not to, and Dan Cisco brought him down for a big loss.
Stephen Smith was hit in the first quarter by Matt McCain, and ever since then the adrenaline has been pumping through his legs. He's booted a 43-yard field goal. He had a 55-yard punt, another punt for 45 yards this time around. We're just under 3 minutes left to play here, and an official is standing around a yellow hanky way away from the line of scrimmage, clear past midfield where the ball is inside the Heritage 5.
What they're calling, Kevin, is a defensive holding on the punt return team of the Heritage Patriots. Of course, the Newton County Rams are going to go ahead and decline that penalty because they've got the Heritage Patriots backed up on their own 5 or 6 yard line. So the penalty will be declined, and it'll back up the Heritage Patriots deep in their own territory.
And they have got a long ways to go and a lot of territory to make up, down 3 touchdowns here. Rams will be looking to improve their 2-0 start to 3-0. We gave you some stats before the game as to how the Newton Ram teams that have started 3-0 done. There is only one team that has been 500. The rest of them well above 500. In fact, 7-3, the worst of the teams that were not from 1990. Rush here on first down and a gain of a yard, perhaps 2, with Harold Walker, the freshman running back. He's seen a lot of time here, but as far as pure offensive yards, he hasn't gained that much, but kickoff return is where he's made his difference.
Very surprised that we have not seen Jason Valdez back in the game. He supplied a lot of rushing threat on the option for the Heritage Patriots, but right now they're running with Ryan Piper, the senior at quarterback, and they're not having a whole lot of success.
Valdez had 40 of the 52 rushing yards of the Heritage Patriots in the first half. That's a pretty impressive total from Valdez, but not for the rest of the team. Here Piper on the option, pitches fumble out at the 6-yard line, and everybody's on top of that ball. We'll see who's got it. Newton Rams have the football at the Heritage 6-yard line. What a dream quarter if you're the Newton Ram offense. You really haven't had much ground to cover at all, and the Ram defense has really been doing it for the Patriots, but it's been more the miscues of the offense of the Heritage team.
That just looked like a bad play altogether. Ryan Piper kind of rolled to the right, looked like he had plenty of room to just tuck the ball under his arm and just run for a first down, and decided to pitch the ball back to Harold Walker. And it was a bad pitch on Ryan Piper's part. Can't really fault Harold Walker there. And the Newton County defense jumped on the ball and it's going to bring up first and goal to go for the Newton Rams.
At the Heritage 4-yard line, already up 3 touchdowns. They'll have a chance to put another one on the board. And Cleary is going to go to the air. Danny Cisco all alone. And did he stay in? No. He tried to get 2 feet in bounds. That pass was right out at the edge of the end zone. And Cisco had 1 foot in, I think, and 1 foot out when he caught that ball. A good attempt at that catch, and a good catch from Cisco, unfortunately, was not in.
Yeah, he tried to plead his case to the referee down there, but the referee just sat there and kind of waved him safe, which means out of bounds, and helped Danny Cisco up to his feet. So good catch there on his part, just a little bit out of bounds.
Minute 58 left to play. For Heritage, they've turned the ball over to the Rams 3 times. Every time it's been in Heritage territory. That can do some damage. Patrick Gaither takes the ball here. Touchdown, Newton Rams. Gaither goes in from 4 yards out. And you know something, Paul? Patrick Gaither, in this game, we'll check it here, 3 carries, 7 yards, 2 touchdowns.
I tell you what, now I guarantee the first person that will sit there and tell you they're not really satisfied with that is going to be number 2, Jonathan Price. He's the workhorse, and give it to Patrick Gaither down there close to the end zone. Not only him, but also Richie Cleary. He's got a couple of touchdowns as well. So let's see what the special teams can do here. The last one they tried was very good. Let's see if they can do it again.
34-7.
Yeah, that was a pretty decent hole there. It looked like from the sound of the ball, the foot hitting the ball, it just didn't really sound real good. And he just apparently hit it wrong. I don't know if it was a hold or what, but he'll be the first one to admit that he's very disappointed in it, but he's got a chance to come out here and kick it off from the 40-yard line. And there's 1 minute and 53 seconds remaining here in the third quarter. Newton Rams up big on the Heritage Patriots, 34-7.
You want to talk about a team that's come out strong in the third quarter. Rams have outscored Heritage 19-0. Their worst field position of the quarter has been their own 44. Every other time they've started in Heritage territory, 4 separate drives, 3 touchdowns. 2 from Gaither and 1 from Richie Cleary, and that'll put 19 on the scoreboard.
Looks like the referees are sitting there changing balls. Apparently there's a little bit of fine mist that we're not seeing up here in the booth, but the ball's getting wet, and the referees are doing a good job of trying to keep a dry ball out there on the field. But as I look down on the Heritage Patriots, they got a lot of players down there, but they're kind of hanging their heads. The coaching staff's kind of wondering what in the world's going on here in the third quarter. But I tell you what, Coach Cook made a great adjustments at halftime and brought the Newton Rams out here strong here in the third quarter.
And Stephen Smith, a 55-yard kickoff that goes to Walker, and Cisco wraps Walker up and brings him down. He goes from the 5, though, all the way out to the 27-yard line, and another 20-plus yard return here for the Patriots. They've at least set the offense up in decent shape on the kickoff returns, but the offense, unfortunately for Heritage, has turned the ball over 3 times on the fumble.
Well, Newton County still having a tough time on their kickoff, and what's happening is a kickoff coverage is simply staying in your lanes, and every successful return that Heritage has came up the same lane. So apparently the coaches need to spot whatever lane is not being filled and talk to that particular player on the Rams and get that thing corrected.
So Heritage starts at their own 28-yard line and given here to number 2, A.J. Pittman. Pittman is outside the 30 to the 32-yard line, so they're going to try some other folks here, the Patriots will, because so far in this game, before this run here from Pittman, the Heritage Patriots have rushed the ball 7 times. Their combined total rushing yards, 7 yards, and 3 fumbles also.
What Heritage is doing right now, as the players heard, I think A.J. Pittman's got one of those cramps that we've been talking about all season long, well, two games long. But what Heritage is doing is they're trying to do a little misdirection. They had A.J. Pittman lined up in a wing T formation, had a misdirection, and Newton County did a good job of defense, even though they did pick up 5 yards.
Second down now, 5 yards to go for the 33. Ryan Piper now leading the offense. Jason Valdez had led it for a while, but Piper takes it now, and he gives here and some first down yardage and a little beyond for the Patriots, so they gained their first down of this quarter. They gave the ball to Vito Gibson, and Gibson hasn't been hurt from much in this game, but the couple of times he has touched the football, he's done some damage.
Very surprised they haven't ran a lot to him. I mean, I tell you what, he's one of the biggest backs Newton County has faced all year long. He's got to be the biggest back they've faced all year long. And every time he's touched the ball, he's had success, but they've only given it to him a few times. So kind of a mystery from the Heritage coaching staff.
Out to the 40-yard line as Heritage tries to drive downfield here. And this time to give for a couple of yards up the middle. That was to Harold Walker, the freshman running back. Walker has certainly seen his share, and for a freshman, he is certainly getting good game experience early on, and you know he's going to be a tough one to watch in future years. Time winding down here on the third quarter. We're down to 10 seconds left, and I have a feeling Heritage may not try to run another play before this third quarter ends. We're now at 4 seconds, 3 seconds, 2, 1. That's going to do it for the third quarter, but folks, you can chalk this up as one of the most successful third quarters in the history of the Newton Rams football team. They scored 19 points in the quarter on 3 touchdowns, and it turned what was going to be a close game into what right now is a blowout, 34-7. We'll be back with your fourth quarter of Ram action here on WGFS. Live broadcast of this game made possible by the friendly folks at East Metro Communications, Covington's authorized agent for AirTouch Cellular.
The best money manager around is a checking account from the Bank of Covington. It's easy to keep track of your income and all your expenses with your checkbook and the detailed monthly statements we send you. It lets you see where you might save money, and it really helps in balancing your budget. If you're not already enjoying such financial assistance, learn all the advantages of a personal checking account at one of the convenient Bank of Covington locations. The Bank of Covington, member FDIC.
Ace is the place for summer savers for you. Check out these great buys at Mayfield Ace Hardware on the Square in Covington. Ace, 100% silicone sealant, only $2.27 each. Also, Rubbermaid 32-gallon roughneck trash can, only $7.88, and Lufkin 1-inch by 25-foot high visibility tape roll, only $5.97. All kinds of summer savers at Mayfield Ace Hardware on the Square in downtown Covington.
Are back from Reed Stadium, and the Heritage Patriots run one play in the fourth quarter. Piper's pass intercepted by Patrick Gaither. Stephen Smith tipped the football, and Smith is going to be the quarterback to lead the Newton Ram offense here. That's exactly what's going on. Smith on first down gives, and there is absolutely no yardage for the man that he gave the ball to, but here is Stephen Smith retaking the reins as the Newton quarterback. As you know, he had some duties back there last year.
On the previous play, Kevin, what happened was Gary Brown tipped the ball. Heritage tried to make a quick little pass. Gary Brown tipped the ball. Patrick Gaither actually tipped it a second time and actually came down with the ball and was able to return it back up here and give Newton County another big break, another big turnover, and Stephen Smith is running the offense.
Smith fumbled the football at the 42. He was looking to give to Hardiman, and Heritage has recovered the football, so Stephen Smith, the inexperience at quarterback, shows here. He was looking, I think, for Hardiman, and I think the two got crossed up on their signal, so give it a yard carry and a fumble, and Heritage will retake possession here with 11:15 left in this game, but they have got some serious ground to cover. They are down 27 points.
A little mishap in the backfield. Stephen Smith was trying to do a little option to the right. Tyrus Hardiman ran right into the back of him, popped the ball loose from Stephen Smith, and he was unable to jump on it. One of the Heritage defenders jumped on top of it, and it's going to give them first and 10 from their own 42-yard line.
Ryan Piper leading it in, and there's a flag already here. Let's make this note before we check and see what's up with the flag. So far in this half, there have been only 3 plays from scrimmage run in Newton territory the entire rest of the time. The ball has been in Heritage territory. That, of course, is in the Rams' favor, and the call goes against the Newton Rams ball.
Looks like it's going to be a little bit of an illegal procedure. It's going to back them up 5 yards. It's going to be first and 5 from the 47-yard line of the Heritage Patriots. Again, Ryan Piper still back there at quarterback, something I don't really agree with for the coaching staff, because Jason Valdez did a lot better job of running this offense, but they're putting the ball game in the hands of Ryan Piper, the senior.
The one thing we do know he has, 2 things. One is, of course, the leadership experience. 2, we believe he has a stronger arm, at least what we've seen from up here. And Bino Gibson on first down was hit immediately by Greg Benson. He tried to go around that left defensive end, and it's not easy to go around Greg Benson.
Good job there by Greg Benson. Also Emilio Reed, both of them stuck a helmet in there and did a good job. And I tell you what, that's a big side over there when you're talking about Greg Benson, Emilio Reed, James Jackson, and those guys are big, aggressive, and strong.
So we're at 2nd down and 7 now after the loss of 2. Rams scoring 19 points in in the third quarter and 15 in the second. And Piper gives the ball to Gibson, and Gibson's going to try to plow through, but he has 2, maybe 3 yards. And that Newton Ram football team stopping Vino Gibson, that was a key we know coming in. We talked about that at the coaches' breakfast, that if the Rams could stop Vino Gibson, it would be a key, but they also had to watch Walker and Piper and Valdez, which they've done.
Real surprised they have not used Vino Gibson, but I think I watched him kind of run off the field a minute ago trying to figure out why in the world they haven't been going to him, and he kind of limped off the field, but when he's running the ball, he doesn't limp, so I don't know really what's going on. Maybe he has a nagging little injury, but something is very mystical about why they're not using him.
One man in motion, that's the one wide out here for Heritage. Piper gets the call, calls it. Gibson has it here, and he'll have the first down. This time he plowed through, and it took into the secondary to tackle him there, as we're down to 9:08 left to play in this game.
Good stick there by James Jackson, but that's a little 5 yards, a little too late. James got up all excited about a big hit. He did apply a tremendous hit on Vino Gibson, but Vino got the first down, and I don't know exactly what James is all excited about, but that's a big running back, and again, maybe he's getting a little bit of strength back in his leg, and maybe he's feeling more comfortable, and they may be giving the ball to him a lot here in the fourth quarter.
Folks, Newton has allowed Heritage into their territory for the first time in the second half. This is the first play that Heritage has been in Newton territory. And Gibson will take the football yet again, and he has 3, maybe 4 yards, and right now they're just trying to ride Vino Gibson for as much as he's got. And of course, they're going to need him in 8 Quad A North. He's one of the backs that'll make the difference for them if they hope to contend.
And every play they've given the ball to Vino Cook is simply a straight dive, nothing on the corner. So apparently he's got like a little nagging ankle injury or something, because they're not running him wide on the corner. They're just going straight up the middle with him. He's showing a lot of power here early in the fourth quarter.
They've shown a lot of speed with Harold Walker, and of course the strength of the fullback Gibson. There goes Walker. Walker plowing through that pile on the line there, and he's going to be close to a first down. They thought they might have had him stopped for no gain, but instead it's a 5-yard gain.
Well, I just kind of figured out the mystery, Kevin, about Vino Gibson. It definitely is an ankle. He's sitting there rubbing his left ankle, and he's kind of hobbling on it. Somebody must have stepped on him there, but we did find out what the mystery is, and that's exactly what's happening. He's got a hurt ankle, and that's a big break for Newton Rams.
Well, we know what this Heritage offense can do, and we wondered why we hadn't seen more of Gibson, and now thanks to Paul Dailey, you know the answer. Man in motion here for Heritage. We have 3rd down and 2. Piper calling the audibles, and he's going to give to Gibson, and Gibson was tripped up immediately. I think the man who hit him was Habeas White. I think that's the man who tripped him up as soon as he touched the ball.
Good job there by Habeas Corpus White of tripping him up, and again, that may aggravate that ankle injury of Vino Gibson, because that's exactly where Habeas White hit him, was right there on the ankle, tripped him up and brought him down short of the first down. It's going to bring up about a 4th down and about a half yard to go. Looks like the Heritage Patriots deciding to go for it.
You're down 27 points. You've got to try to do something to spark it. You certainly can't kick it away at this stage of the game, especially this close.
Guess who they may go to?
It's Ryan Piper. He kept the ball, and he's got the first down, we believe.
I would have guessed wrong. I would have guessed Vino Gibson.
I would also have guessed Vino Gibson.
I'm glad I didn't have a chance to say that.
Well, Piper took the football, and we don't have to embarrass ourselves, because, of course, we're pretty well removed from the action. We get a chance to call it, nothing else. The coaches get to make the decision either way, though. Piper gets 2 yards in the first down. They're down to the Newton 35-yard line. That is the 3rd first down in this half. That's all for the Heritage Patriots so far. There's Vino Gibson, and somebody put a helmet on him right away. That was number 58, Greg Benson, the big left end. And all of a sudden, now the defensive front just charging here against Vino Gibson.
One of the things that I'm kind of wondering about what Newton County's linebackers are doing, the linebackers are lined up right behind the defensive line, and what that's doing is giving the guards and the tackles for the Heritage Patriots time to reach them. The linebackers need to step back maybe 3 or 4 more yards and reach from there, but as I look down on the field, they're right behind their linemen, and that's I don't know if that's a good thing to do or not, because Patrick Gaither's getting caught up.
Now here's Ryan Piper. This time he takes the give and keeps it himself, and he's got the first down and inside the 25-yard line. And so they gave and gave and gave to Vino Gibson, and this time Ryan Piper decided the senior was going to keep it himself and picked up big-time yardage. In fact, it'll be their biggest play so far of this half as he gains the first down. I'd say their biggest play in terms of yardage. He has about 8 yards.
Going back to what we were just talking about, the linebackers, right on that play is a great example of the linebackers getting caught by the guards and the tackles, getting swept in there, and Patrick Gaither had to do some retreating to go make the tackle.
Well, Heritage has actually shown a little ball control offense. They've done a pretty good job with it so far. With 5:48 left in this game, a timeout was, we thought, originally called on the field, and here comes Vino Gibson, and he is definitely limping, apparently on his left side, Paul.
Yeah, it looks like his ankle's been aggravated again, and he's got a lot of tape around that ankle too, so apparently he's had a pre-existing injury that we weren't aware of, and that's probably why they haven't utilized him as much as tonight, but he had a great series, brought him down there to where they're at now.
You have got to know that this Patriot team is going to depend a lot on Vino Gibson before this year's over, so they'll do everything possible to get him healthy. They bring him out of the action here, and the pitch goes to Walker. He actually takes this pitch without the fumble, but he kind of bobbled the football a little bit. He did gain 4 or 5 yards.
Good job there by Walker to get on the corner. Stop made by Jarvis Johnson, number 81.
Ball will be at the 20-yard line. Second down and 6 here for the Heritage Patriots. And in this drive, this is play number 11. So the Patriots have been able to drive the ball pretty steadily downfield, and that's important for them. They get a chance at least to see that much. They really don't have much of a chance of a comeback here, but they've eaten a lot of time, and they've driven downfield very well. Now Walker fumbles the football, and it's kicking around, and a lineman has picked it up at the 15-yard line. The man who picked it up is Corey Hagman, a senior offensive lineman. Harold Walker, excuse me. Why do I call him Robert? He fumbled the football, and it went a good 5-10 yards before Hagman picked it up.
As long as you don't call him Herschel Walker, we'll be okay. But the person who has replaced Vino Gibson in the backfield was Travis Carter, and he's coming out at this time. But Corey Hagman was probably the most surprised person on the ball field. He just kind of looked down, and the ball was there. He picked it up and ran another 3 or 4 yards. So he's going to be in the rushing stats after this ball game's over with.
So a first down at the 10-yard line. They continue to drive ever so slowly downfield, but they gain nothing here as the Ram defensive front comes right up and slams that Heritage Patriot team for a loss of maybe 2, maybe 3 yards.
Travis Carter has now been replaced by Jimmy Gaddy. Jimmy Gaddy's in the backfield for the Heritage Patriots. He ran the ball on that particular play for hardly no gain at all, and the Newton defense is rising to the occasion here again. The second down and goal to go from the 10-yard line.
So on the second down play, Ryan Piper looking for someone in the end zone and incomplete. The intended man was Casey Mitchell. Mitchell, a senior for this Ram team. He plays some tight end, plays some defensive line, but his pass was tipped. I think his arm actually may have been touched by one of the Newton Ram players, caused the pass to go kind of wobbly.
Both outside linebackers, James Jackson, Chris Middlebrooks, just annihilated poor old Ryan Piper in the backfield. He didn't have time to do anything. James and Chris was on him really quickly, and they delivered a punishing blow, put him on his back, and I guarantee you Ryan's going to be thinking about that one later on tonight.
This Ram defense against Redan really showed what they were made of in the red zone, and they're starting to do it here as they finally shut down this Heritage drive. Piper's going to look for someone yet again, and here's that pass. It's up and well out of the end zone. Hindley was the man he was looking for, but the pass was a good 2 feet over his head, and even if it had been farther down, it was out far enough where Hindley would have had serious trouble catching that ball.
As Ryan Piper goes off to the sideline, he has one person to thank for saving his life on that particular play. Harold Walker threw a block that actually tripped up Greg Benson. Greg Benson's so big, he actually tripped up James Jackson, and those two guys were about to pound on Ryan Piper.
So here comes Darrell Reiser, the young kid, the sophomore, to attempt the field goal. It'll be a 27-yard attempt for him. We've seen a little bit of him tonight. To try to make it 34-10. Here comes the kick. It is up, and the 27-yard attempt is no good. It is wide right. Yet, guess what, folks? Yes, we're seeing yellow up here in the press box yet again.
I think what we're going to have is roughing the kicker on that, so it looks like it may be another try. Maybe it's going to probably be a first down. Let's see what the referees call. But Greg Benson almost got a block there, came in real aggressively, but actually ran into the kicker. And it's going to be, I think that's an automatic first down. We're going to wait and see.
Tough call to make as a referee because, as you know, as a defensive player, you're charging hard, but with the kicker, you really have to watch, and the kicker's in that vulnerable position right after kicking the field goal. And the defensive player, that's got to be one of the toughest things to do, but the penalty that goes against the Rams for 5 yards is an automatic first down. And Heritage will have it at the Newton 5-yard line, so they get a new life here.
That's one of those penalties where you're upset with it, but you appreciate the aggressiveness of Greg Benson to try to block that kick.
You cannot fault that aggressiveness as Piper gives here. I believe that was Tarvis Carter, senior running back who took the football. He did not get in. He's got a gain of about 3 yards. Tarvis had an older brother named Jarvis Carter who played here at Heritage a few years back.
I've been calling him Travis Carter. It's Tarvis Carter. I apologize for that. Pretty good run there by the junior to stick his head in there and just get a couple yards. It's going to bring up second down and about 3 yards to go.
Well, if Tarvis turns out anything like his brother, we'll hear plenty from him next year. Piper fumbles the snap, and I think he fell on top of it, but meanwhile, we'll be down to third down here at about the 3-yard line, and Piper did fall on the snap, but must have had a different snap count from his center because they had some trouble there. We're down to 3:26 left here in the game at Reed Stadium. Rams lead it 34-7.
The Newton Rams have done a tremendous job way down here in the red zone, as you said earlier, Kevin, of keeping the Heritage Patriots out of the end zone. And I'm very surprised Heritage was tied for 3 points. I doubt they do it here.
Once again, Piper will be looking for a receiver downfield, and he is sacked. James Jackson brings him down and way back at the 17-yard line. Also, credit in there, Jamiko Usher, the linebackers came in and drilled him as he was looking for a man, and Heritage had trouble with their pass blocking that time around.
Well, Coach Kevin Binky's doing a good job of doing some guessing there, and he kind of rushed the quarterback and put him on his back, and now Heritage, they're down 28 points, and they're going to try for 3 points. I don't really understand this. Maybe they're just trying to get their field goal kicker out, but 4th and a million, I guess maybe it's not a bad idea.
32-yard attempt. He, of course, had the 27-yard attempt a moment ago, and they had the roughing the kicker penalty. This time, the kick from 32 is up, and it's also no good. It was wide, I believe, to the right-hand side, so we have the same result, and this time there is no yellow on the field. Rams lead at 34-7 here over the Heritage Patriots, and have a chance to look impressive here for the first time on offense and defense here in 1995, something they haven't had the chance to do, put both the offense and defense together.
Good job there by Greg Benson to rush the kick again. He almost ran into him for a second time. One bad thing on that play is Gary Brown looked like he may have twisted an ankle or something. He's hobbling off the field. Probably won't see him the rest of the game.
Rams have only run 2 plays here in the 4th quarter. Heritage had the ball control and a big-time drive that ate up a lot of clock. Price takes it here. He's at the 30, and he lost the football at the 35. Who has the football? 2 minutes, 14 seconds left. Heritage has recovered it. Price gets 15 yards, and Paul, I have a feeling that since Price hadn't had the chance to score, he was probably looking end zone and lost something along the way.
Yeah, he tried to do a little after move. He was caught from behind by someone and just kind of wiggled out of his grip, but actually lost the ball when he was trying to do that, and one of the Heritage Patriots jumped on the ball, and it's going to give the Heritage Patriots the ball back on the Newton County 36-yard line.
Rams with 34 points on the scoreboard, the most they've had a chance to score in a while. Piper keeps it himself on first down, and he is tripped up and brought down at the 35-yard line. That's a gain of a yard. We are less than 2 minutes to play now.
Good job there again by Nikita Webb to read the option. Ryan Piper just kind of rolled to the left with a little veer option, and Nikita Webb read it right, played the veer man, and decided to let him go and just brought down Ryan Piper for a short gain.
Second down and 9 from the Newton 35-yard line goes the Heritage offense. They're going to try to test out the passing offense, and here comes a man to rush him, and the pass will be up. He eluded the man, but the pass incomplete. Jimmy Gaddy actually had the football, but then fumbled it and actually tried to kick the ball to just get it away from someone else, and he successfully did that, but the incomplete pass brings up third down and 9 yards to go. By the way, last time the Rams put this many points on the scoreboard, you might remember it. It was against Rockdale, and homecoming game, big game for the Newton Rams, which they put 35 on the scoreboard. So if they had been a little more successful in their extra points, they would have even surpassed that.
Yeah, they're going to be really disappointed in the points, because they should have scored a lot more points tonight. But the defensive line for Newton Rams are doing a great job of rushing Ryan Piper, forcing him to do some things that he don't want to do.
With a minute 25 left in this game, once again, Piper's going to look for a man. This time it's complete for a first down. Stan Shearer takes the football. He's a senior, and he was tackled at the 20-yard line. So Stan Shearer takes the football. football for what is the first time tonight. It gains another first down. Heritage has 6 of those here. And as we mentioned, the ball control for them has been actually pretty good here in the fourth quarter. The only problem, no points to show.
Good job there by Ryan Piper to kind of roll out to his left and find the receiver out in the flats, and Stephen Smith had to bring him down. Again, the defensive front from Newton County is doing a great job of rushing the passer.
First down at Newton's 19-yard line. Now a minute 16 left, and once again, Piper's going to look for that man downfield. The pass is up. It's over the head of that same man, Stan Shearer, and incomplete.
Not a real big rush there by the Newton defense. Looks like they may be a little bit tired. They were kind of lally-gagging there on that particular play. Nikita Webb was only really the one that was forcing any pressure. He went through a couple of blocks, but forced a little bit of pressure on Ryan Piper, but Newton County came out with a big break. Ryan Piper just simply overthrew his receiver.
You want to talk about chicken scratch on a score sheet? That would be this game. There's no doubt about that. Pretty much every quarter has been that way for one team or another. One team has dominated time of possession, be it Heritage or Newton, in alternating quarters. This pass is up, and that one may have been complete. If it was, Gary Brown made a tremendous hit and brought him down at the 14. Brown hit him just as he touched the football. That was Kevin McNeely, a sophomore, touching the football there. We're less than a minute to play.
Good job there again by Ryan Piper to just stay in the pocket. He got rushed by the 2 outside linebackers again, James Jackson and Chris Middlebrooks, and they just kind of sandwiched him there in the backfield. And that's a couple of times that he's been sandwiched by those 2 guys, and he's going to feel that one later on tonight.
38 seconds left with 3rd down and 4. Receivers going downfield, and Piper is going to have to hang on to the football, and Middlebrooks will catch up to him at the 14. So after all that running, Piper's back to the original line of scrimmage, and here comes 4th down, 4th and 5.
Excellent job there by Chris Middlebrooks of pursuing the quarterback to the long side of the field, on the wide side of the field. He came from the totally opposite side of the field to make the tackle. Good pursuit on his part.
Well, down 27 points with 15 seconds left in the game. Heritage has called a timeout, so they definitely want to try a couple of things on offense, if nothing else, to get ready for future weeks here. And with 4th down, we might see a field goal attempt here.
You're exactly right, Kevin. Kind of odd things here, being down by 28 points to try another field goal. But maybe they're looking towards region A Quad A North and seeing what they can do, and maybe have a little bit of practice here with their field goal kicker.
That, of course, is Darrell Reiser. And Reiser, being as young as he is, could use the game experience. He's had the chance to kick a couple of field goals tonight, or at least a couple of field goal attempts. They haven't been any good.
Well, as our spotter has said, you know, Heritage and Rockdale is a big soccer community. Maybe they're just trying to turn this game into maybe like a little soccer-style kicker. They haven't had a whole lot of success playing football tonight, so maybe they'll try a little bit of soccer.
Do bear in mind, the Heritage offense, the offense that has taken the field, those starting 11 didn't score a point tonight. Those 7 yards came on the 95-yard kickoff return from Harold Walker. Now here's the field goal attempt here. It is a 32-yard attempt, and it is going to be good. And so Heritage does put the 3 points on the scoreboard. They've got 10 seconds left in this game. You can call it 34-10, and you can at least give some experience to some folks who might otherwise not have gotten it, but basically this one well out of hand here for the Patriots.
Good job again by Greg Benson. One of these days, I mean, that's something to look forward down the road. Greg Benson is going to block a field goal or extra point on down the road, because he has missed 3 extra points or field goals by about just a couple of inches. So that's a good thing to look at maybe down the road in a closer ball game.
And the kickoff for the Patriots, it looks like they're going to send out Robert Danio, who's a junior. He's a backup, and he's going to be the man who's going to be kicking off. So they're going to give some of the second teamers a chance here in the final seconds of this game. So it looks like the Newton Rams, for the first time in school history, will go to 3-0 in consecutive years. This shows the consistency. A lot of times in the past for the Rams, if they've put together good years, it's been with a lot of seniors on the team that they would lose, and then they'd come back and be down some the next year. But Jack Cook has brought consistency to the program.
Done a good job of getting people out there on that football field, that practice field, and that's something, you know, his first year here, they didn't have very many people on the sideline, but as we look across Reed Stadium here in Conyers, Georgia, we see a lot of reserves over there, and that's building tradition here in Newton County, and that's something we're glad to see. Looks like the Heritage Patriots may try some kind of onside kick. That's what Newton County has lined up, maybe to try to prevent.
Watley's going to back up a little bit now, but there are lots of men up front here for Newton to try to prevent this from being any kind of damage at all for them. Robert Danio is going to kick it, and he's just going going to kick it straight on a line toward Wadley, and Wadley's just going to watch this one roll into the end zone. And for a 60-yard kick, that one was a line drive as much as anything else.
Wasn't very pretty, but it got in the end zone, and it looked like Newton County was just kind of defending the onside kick, and looks like Heritage is just ready to get this one over with and get in the locker room.
34-10 will more than likely be your final score, and the Rams with the 24-point victory. Next week, it's the Lithia Springs Lions, and the Rams will look to go to 4-0, as you know, and we've been mentioning it. Only 2 other teams have had the chance to do that in Newton Ram history. Might this team be a team of destiny? I know we mentioned a lot about that last year, and then there were a couple of key games that the Rams lost. They did finish 7-3 last year. 2 of their losses were by a combined total of 4 points, one on a desperation play near the end of the game at Shiloh. They lost by 1 point in the driving rain against Lithia Springs last year, and we have got some wholesale replacements out there. There is a number 8 at quarterback who isn't even on our list, and since he went down on one knee, he's going to get a carry, and we haven't the foggiest idea who that is. At least I don't, Paul.
I'm not really sure who it is. It may be Kerry Gilstrap. I'm not really sure who it is, but this ball game is over. That's exactly who that was, Kerry Gilstrap.
So Gilstrap will get a varsity snap. He goes back 3 yards and down on a knee, and welcome to A Quad A, son.
That's not the stats that he's gonna want, but I guarantee you, Kerry Gilstrap, somebody we're going to talk about a lot in the future in Newton Ram High School football.
34-10 your final. The Newton Rams, thanks to a terrific second quarter and a terrific third quarter, that's where they put all their points on the scoreboard. As a matter of fact, they come up with the win here. We're going to be back and attempt to give you some final statistics, so on and so forth. As we wrap it up, the Rams will go to 3-0 after this win at Reed Stadium in Conyers, and we will be back. Newton Ram football here on WGFS, AM 1430. Stadium here in Conyers, Georgia. A successful night here for the Newton Rams as they go to 3-0 for the second straight year. First time in school history they've had the chance to do that. Here they defeat the Heritage Patriots 34-10. And Paul Dailey, this game for the Newton Rams, certainly a confidence booster. We had talked about the inconsistencies. 1 week a good defensive performance, another week a good offensive performance. Here I'd say we strung together a good bit of both.
You're exactly right, Kevin. We saw a lot of good things on offense, definitely a lot of good things on defense. Newton County's defense hasn't lost a lot from last year. We have lost Jason Robbins and a couple of other people, but this defense is tough. They got a lot more skilled players on this defense. For instance, Gary Brown, James Jackson, and those guys. But we've seen a lot of good things tonight. But again, Kevin, I guarantee you Coach Cool's going to tell you that he's very disappointed on some of the mental mistakes that his players had. Had a lot of drop passes, a lot of penalties, a couple of fumbles. And those are the things that if they would have converted and had a perfect game, they would have blew this Heritage team out probably 96-0. But just if you can just get Newton County to get everything going together at one time, they can beat anybody, I think, in their region. And they're going to have a lot of success. They can just get everything clicking on one cylinder, and hopefully they can do that by the time they get to their region schedule.
Well, they'll have one more chance to do that. They have one more non-sub-region game coming up. That'll be next Friday. Before we get into that, here are the statistics. It's brought to you by the crack statistical staff of Newton Ram football here on WGFS. It looks like this, folks. Jonathan Price is the story of the game. Period. End of story. 23 carries, 150 yards. He only had 1 touchdown. He did fumble the ball 1 time, but notice for the Newton Rams, 186 total yards as a team, 150 of them coming from Mr. Price, which means the rest of the team only 36 yards. They got 8 from Cleary and 7 carries, 13 from Hardeman, 15 from Watley, 7 from Gaither. That's interesting because he scored 2 touchdowns on those 7 yards, but 186 total yards as far as the rushing side, but they had 5 rushing touchdowns. That, of course, is where it matters the most, and that's how the Rams put those 34 up there.
A good thing to see there is, Alex Wally only had 2 carries, but he had 15 yards. But Jonathan Price is the tailback for this Newton County Ram offense. He's done a good job. I'm sure his name is going to be in the Atlanta Journal-Constitution for a great effort here tonight. He's probably going to be one of the leading rushers in the region, if not the leading rusher in the region. Patrick Gaither came in, had 2 touchdowns, but he's your fullback, and that's what your fullbacks do. Is they carry the ball on short yardage situations. Newton County was down there on the 1-yard line 4 different times. They gave it to Patrick Gaither twice. They gave it to Richie Cleary twice. So you got your big guys going over. But Jonathan Price was definitely the workhorse tonight.
Well, who would have guessed that after that game 1 where he averaged a yard a carry and had 13 yards on 13 carries that he would have been the tremendous back that he's been the last few weeks? As you know, against Mount Zion. He put together a tremendous performance there, gaining a total of 148 yards on 17 carries. Here he breaks the 150 mark, and Jonathan Price will be someone they'll be looking at, but you can't forget about Richie Cleary, who really was not the center of the offensive game here. He did score a couple of touchdowns just running the ball over, but he was 3 for 10 for 70 yards. The percentage completion isn't that great, but the yards, not bad at all, especially for the way this Ram team likes to play their game.
Not big numbers on Richie Cleary's part, but again, he is the leader of that offense. He gets the guys in line. He tells them what to do. He calls the play. So you got to have, I mean, his position, sometimes a quarterback's position, sometimes it goes unnoticed for what the things that he does off the field and in the huddle. And Richie Cleary is doing a great job of that. But Jonathan Price has done a great job. And remember back at the Redan game, we talked about that. We said if he ever gets on the corner or if he gets any room, he's going to be a big back for the Newton Rams. And that's exactly what we saw in Week 2 against Mount Zion, and definitely here tonight against the Heritage Patriots.
Third quarter, the key to this game, Paul, as Heritage gained 18 yards and fumbled 3 times, and Newton had 19 points. That's just about a point for every yard of total offense for Heritage.
Heritage just looked like they came out in the second half. The coaching staff, apparently they didn't inspire them too well because the old momentum was on their back going into halftime, and Newton County just took it right back in the third quarter. And you got to contribute that to the coaching staff of the Newton Rams, because I'm sure they went in there and they gave a good talking to their offense and their defensive squad. And looks like Heritage Patriots got a long road to hoe in the Region 8 North. I mean, there's some really good teams up there, and it looks like the Heritage Patriots doesn't have that strong of a team. But I'm sure they're going to make some adjustments and play hard. They beat their rival, and that's probably the biggest game they're worried about this season. And but good luck to them the rest of the season. I think Newton Rams are getting ready. They're about where they need to be going into their region. One more strong game against Lithia Springs next Friday night at Homer Sharp Stadium, and I think they'll be ready.
I can tell you from a bit of personal experience that at Heritage they tell you if you go 1-9 and you beat Rockdale, then you've had pretty much a semi-successful season, and if you go 9-1 and you lose, then they really don't look at it that great. So they definitely have the one feather in their cap, and once they return Vito Gibson to the lineup and healthy, I think that you'll find them to be a little tougher team. But you're right, the tough 8 Quad A North, of course it's a tough 8 Quad A South, and here the Newton Rams are set to go, and the Lithia Springs Lions the next opponent. And here's one that the Rams have had a little trouble with, teams that they have gone in traditionally looking a little superior, but then coming out on the short side.
Well, I wasn't able to go to that game last year out in Lithia Springs. Bill Dolan filled in for me, but when I came back, I think I went out of town that weekend. When I came back, I was just shocked that the Newton Rams had lost that game. And I guarantee you, I'm not going to guarantee because I don't like doing that, but the Newton Rams are going to be up and ready for the Lithia Springs Lions, because that loss last year was one of the biggest losses of their season, combined with a Shiloh loss as well. So look for the Newton Rams to come out strong again, have a good week of practice, and be ready for the Lithia Springs line. And everybody come out next Friday night to Homer Sharp Stadium. We're going to have a good game, and I'm looking forward to it.
Well, as you know, Paul, the wins kind of build upon themselves, and that's where we broke our stride last year. They'll be hoping not to do the same this year. And bear this in mind, in '92, when Newton went out to Lithia Springs, same situation. Newton really looked like they had the superior team, yet they lost out there, and it kind of disrupted them for the season. Well, when Lithia came to Newton in '93, Newton took care of it 20-3, and they dominated Lithia Springs. Now in '94, they went out and they lost it and broke up their season. So we'll just see what happens here.
I hope so. I hope that Newton Rams will remember that, and now that they're playing again at home next week, maybe they can remember that 23 victory back in '93 and not let a '94 happen this year.
Well, it'll be the Newton Rams and Lithia Springs Lions a week from today, and the tailgate show will be at 7 o'clock with Todd Q. Chapman and all of us here, the broadcast staff, bringing you Newton Ram football. The kickoff will be at 7:30, and you folks want to come out and see some history made at Homer Sharp Stadium. If you have plans for Friday night that don't include the Rams, just cancel them, unless they're, just direly important. Cancel them and come on out to Homer Sharp Stadium, pack the stands, and support those Newton Rams. We'll wrap it up here for executive producer Todd Q. Chapman, for the great spotter Al Stitcher, and also for Paul Dailey, also known as the Big Dog, Kevin Holden, reporting from Reed Stadium. Your final score: the Newton Rams beat the Heritage Patriots 34-10. Good night, everyone.
You've been listening to exciting Newton County Rams football on WGFS AM 1430. Ram football on WGFS is brought to you by Bulldog Tire, Coast to Coast Home and Auto, Covington Cable TV, Newton Federal Savings and Loan, Mayfield 8th